Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome to People Without Pants. We are here Friday instead of Thursday because we had busy stuff to do yesterday.
I just be out here doing too much shit.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, I am here with my boy Larry Bear. I am Walt Disney, and I have realized today that my name is actually a Nazi test. Now, you see, folks. Now, I am named Walt Disney because I I use a lot of hardware. And do Walt Disney be up to stuff? Yes, he do. But how is it that you just said this name?
DeWalt Disney.
No, no, no. Come on. How did you just say this name?
I don't remember. DeWalt?
Yeah, you said it. You said it like you lived in New Jersey in a questionable period. Or what fucking island is it?
I don't know what island you're referring to.
The one that fuckface from Inglorious Bastards got on it.
Oh, fuck. I don't remember. Shit.
Um if any of you know the island in particular I'm talking about, point is start saying about Disney, and I'm gonna start sending you to Argentinian places or post-Argentinian places.
Honestly, what I was thinking of when I said it with that accent was simply the he's white thing from the Elvis movie.
That is a pretty great thing.
Actually, you want to hear something funny about that?
What's up?
So my family's doctor, I obviously won't say her name because that's not my business, but she's Indian and she has a
Cheesy
last
Michael.
what?
Cheesy Michael.
Yes, exactly. So she's Indian. She has a last name that sounded vaguely Indian. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I found out that's her married name and her husband is a white Swedish guy. I guess the name is also a Swedish name. But when my mom told me this, I literally did the Tom Hanks, he's white?
Oh God, that's great.
I so rarely get an opportunity to do that one.
Fair, fair. If you want an opportunity to do that more, you just got to interact with more Brazilians.
True. Fucking true.
If you know, you know.
I never meant to. Obviously, me as the white guy, I am, of course, the arbiter of all racial matters.
Thank you.
So I never thought of Brazilians as being white. I thought of them as being Brazilians. Just, I don't know. Fine,
Well,
whatever.
Brazilians are a rainbow.
Oh, no, I know. But when I was like a kid, I didn't fully understand that. I just knew that Brazilian was a culture and that the people in it had varying skin tones.
Yeah, I mean, like, to be perfectly honest, when you were a kid, did you think a lot about American slavery?
I didn't think about it a ton, but I knew about it and I knew it was fucked up. I mean,
Oh yeah, sure. So I mean, like, I'm sure, like, if as a kid someone sat down and explained to you, all right, now let me explain how we can actually make a country whiter after we've built it using all the African slaves, and then they proceeded to bust in a bunch of people on a boat. Like, I mean, you would probably as a kid be like, that's fucked up. So like, it's not like it's like a crazy concept. It's just like how
well,
many people are okay. I I have to argue with fucking DR motherfuckers who say I'm not black, I'm Dominican. So like, I mean, no one fucking knows goddamn African the diaspora history. And yes, by the way, before any of you come at me, yes, that happens. Yes, you fucking know it. You know it.
wait, which part happens? Because it all sounds believable
Oh,
so far.
as far as people from the DR being like, I'm not black, I'm not black. And it's like, buddy, you literally are the color of my fucking
Oh, no,
shirt.
don't worry. I've encountered that myself.
Like,
So for those of you, I've mentioned this on the stream before, but for those of you who don't know, I grew up in Framingham, which in my state is like the Brazilian capital of the state for some reason.
I thought that was the Jamaican place.
No, it's Brazilian. I
Okay.
mean, not that there's no Jamaicans there, but it's mostly like white and or Brazilian. I have no idea why my hometown of all places became Brazilian Massachusetts Mecca, but it did. So, like, probably just one guy with a big extended family moved, and then when the next Brazilian guy wanted to move to Massachusetts, he was like, "Oh, there's already 20 other Brazilians from that one family. Let's just move there."
Well, I mean, how far is it from Boston?
40 minutes, an hour in bad traffic.
Okay, so I'm gonna toss at you an idea here.
Okay.
It takes one fucking crew for the Big Dig.
Yeah,
How many crews did they hire for that fucking thing?
probably a bunch. So yeah, okay, I get what you're getting at.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it's just funny that Framingham is where they settled and not like Natick or Shrewsbury or any of the other surrounding towns.
I think it's just happenstance at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, so part of why my town's education system was more fucked up than it should be, given the amount of money it was getting,
What's up,
is
these Brazilians, man?
well, it's not because of the Brazilians. It's because a lot of the Brazilian population are in need of ESL classes because, they're recent immigrants and they don't speak English yet. But because of like the weird classification of the US government, Brazilians, at least in Massachusetts, I don't know if it varies by state. In my state, they're classified as white, which means they don't get the automatic ESL funding boost that other Latino races would get. So my town basically has to, no, like literally, my hometown has to spend like 5 times more money on ESL shit than any other town, but they don't get an extra boost from the federal government for it.
I'm sorry, that's funny as fuck. Cause like, imagine purposefully like making your country be the white beacon in Latin America, only for like hundreds of years later, weird fucking legal restrictions will make it so your descendants don't get to learn the white people language officially.
Well, I mean, they do get to learn it because we do scrape together the money. It's just that we don't get like an additional funding boost from the Department of Education like we're supposed to.
But they're not learning it efficiently, because efficiently would be not all this bullshit.
Yeah, it actually and someone else pointed this out to me. I'm not quite racist enough to have noticed this myself. But someone pointed out to me that it was very common in my high school for the Brazilian kids to be like slightly older than the rest of the kids in their grade because most of them got thrown into an English kindergarten without being able to speak English and therefore got held back.
Or they might not have been put in the right grade.
Well, that happened too, of course, but like there's many reasons, but yeah, like I knew at least one kid who what happened was he moved to the US at age like 2, grew up in a Brazilian Portuguese speaking household, so therefore didn't speak English when he got sent off to kindergarten. And they didn't know that, so they just dumped him in a fucking English speaking kindergarten class and he's sitting there like, "Huh?"
Well, I'm sure that happened. I mean, I just I just know at least from like a lot of my work experience that like people not speaking English will oftentimes be like,
Yeah.
and they like, and I know how shitty American bureaucrats can be. I can totally see so how old's your child? 5, 6? Is he 5? Yes, my child.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh?
that probably happens less often in the days of computers, but yeah, like back during my early childhood, that probably happened.
I mean, you say my early childhood, like, bro, we often bring up the fact that Ruby Bridges is still alive. If that can affect the fucking world we live in, I'm sure this fucking filing issue from like
True.
20 years back is still hefty.
I remember my senior year, I needed like one additional science class, and the only one left that I hadn't taken that didn't sound boring as dirt was earth science. So I took earth science, but that's the freshman class. So I was like a senior in a class full of freshmen, half my height, and like, whatever.
Sure.
But one day, I forget the kid's name, but it was his birthday. And so he comes in and he's got this big ass fucking birthday balloon tied to his backpack, like kids always do.
As you do. As you
And
do.
so people are like, hey, happy birthday, man. And it says happy 16th on it. And I was sitting next to a Brazilian girl and I was like, 16, like kind of just out loud to myself. And then she just goes, all the Brazilian kids get held back. And I'm like, I'm glad you said that and not me, because it would have sounded racist if I said it.
Folks, it's time that me as the brown person on the podcast wants to remind you, brown people can say racist things, and often do.
That is true, but in the context, I'm assuming she didn't mean it racist, but I don't know that for sure.
I'm not, I don't think saying something racist and meaning or intention or having racist intentions are really, I don't think they got to be in the same room all the time.
True. I mean, fucking Brad Paisley and LL Cool J wrote that whole song about it. Remember that?
Oh my god.
What was that lyric? If you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag. What was the other one was if you don't judge my gold chains, I'll forget the iron chains. Jesus.
You know what's wild? Because, like,
What?
Okay, time for me to share a little bit about my life.
Nice.
So at my job, I do a really fucking silly thing every day. I wear a gigantic fucking chain, like a flavor. I essentially wear a Flavor Flav clock every day.
Yeah.
Little John.
Oh right, no, Flavor Flav is what's the other thing he does other than shout his own name?
The one you're looking for is yeah, boy.
That's it. Yeah.
That's the one you're looking for.
My only fucking frame of reference for Flavor Flav is comedies from the 2000s making fun of him and the Comedy Central roast I saw about him.
You're absolutely wrong, and let's reformat your thought process. So, Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
I do.
And the tantamount title song, Fight the Power.
Fight the powers that be.
Who's that song by?
No, I know Flavor Flav was part of that group. I'm just saying, like,
who's the song by?
Fucking what are they called? Run DMC? No, not Run DMC. Fucking Public Enemy.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. The wound can go. Just a lot of people don't understand the Public Enemy has three parts. There is the lyrical component, which is Chuck D writes a lot of poems and a lot of things that really makes you think. There is the energy component, because this is not a rock band and we do not have an electric guitar. We have a Flavor Flav.
Flavor Flav.
He is a human instrument, and as in, like, he gets the things moving the way you need the energy to move. He's a fucking conductor. And you have element 3, which is a very fun element. The Wu-Tang Clan also shares this element. 20 random niggas on stage with a bunch of fucking things. I don't know.
Swinging swords around and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're just like doing like actual and shit. Don't worry about it.
Can I ask you a question that you might know the answer to?
Yeah, what's up?
Where did and obviously this isn't all black people, but where did the trope of black dude who's super into martial arts and swords and shit come from? Was it just from like Bruce Lee stuff, or?
Oh, so this is actually really fun. This is like a weird cultural crossing that happens because New York exists.
That makes sense. Yeah, I could have guessed that.
You have a fuck ton of Chinese immigrants in New York, and you have a fuck ton of black people in New York. You have a fuck ton of bootlegs of the movies coming with the Chinese people in New York.
That makes
and
sense.
and you have black people who always have had to deal with the resources available and not necessarily take prime goods, i.e., soul food. And so, bullets are an accessible thing, and you end up watching what you got, and that means a fuck ton of kung fu movies spread through the like really big like housing complexes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so after a while, it's just like it's the cool thing. And then take that, combine it with this is once again New York. You got motherfuckers in the park doing Tai Chi.
Yeah.
You have like people everywhere beating the shit out of each other in unique and exotic ways.
Plus, not that this did like a ton by itself, but movies like Superfly kind of helped popularize martial
Well,
arts in that community too.
I think it starts with the kung fu movies, and then it's embraced by people who then a couple of them get big enough that they're like, we want to do shit like the black exploitation films, and that's why they immediately went in that direction. I mean, if you think about it, you could use like a fighting style from any place in the world. Theoretically, capoeira could be the badass fighting thing. Fucking Greek wrestling, I guess, theoretically could be, but like, it's not. We went this way, and so I think it kept multiplying on itself until you end up with like fucking Michael Jai White, the
Yeah.
self-fulfilling prophecy of black people and kung fu fusing together to make a real life blade.
Do you know who else he was other than Black Dynamite, by the way?
Um, oh, fuck. I mean, well, he's Bone. Um,
It was an Arrowverse character.
is he Black Manta?
No, he they never did Black Man on that show. They never did Aquaman either, probably just budgetary. No, he played their version of Bronze Tiger.
He's too. Bronze Tiger needs to be more corny.
Yeah, keep in mind at the time they introduced him, this was still the period where comic book movies had to pretend they weren't based on comic books.
Fuck all of that, bro. Nah,
Like this
like
is early Arrow when they're still taking their cues from like the Dark Knight trilogy in terms of tone.
I'm not even kidding. If you wanted me to cast Bronze Tiger, Alfonso Ribeiro or Rivero. If you have to type his name, you'll have fun when you realize what I'm saying.
Carlton? I mean, yeah, if you're going for that tone of Bronze Tiger, then yeah.
Like, please pull up on like another tab the Bronze Tiger mask.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like that. Thanks. Like this kind of thing?
Do the one to the right of it. And then see if we can use the interweb.
There we go.
I'm talking about like dramatic ass Carlton hidden fucking
This
like
I can see.
hidden like pseudo queer poses where like he's doing like faces like sha and everything he does is just so fucking extra. It's like, all right, Bronze Tiger, we get it. I'm just saying you could so sell this. And look at his fucking head. Just like look at his head.
Yeah,
and
the
that
hair
jump
definitely matches.
the eyebrows match. Jump back and forth between this and the grown ass Alfonso. Because like this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I see
know, it. I know at first you're like, what? But like hear me out.
Actually, right here they have. If I can fucking increase the size. Thanks. Here they have Michael Jai White as Bronze Tiger.
Yo, dog, I heard you like Wolverine. So he took a black dude, gave him bronze knuckles, and Wolverine that bitch.
Well, so Bronze Tiger is one of those characters where, depending on the needs of the plot, they'll use him as either a pretty unambiguous hero or a pretty unambiguous villain.
I want him to be like the annoying kind of hero.
Yeah, Arrowverse went with a more grounded version, but because it's Michael Jai White and he just simply has the acting talent, he still gave that character a lot more depth than he should have had.
I mean, what else has he done? He's done some other important shit in this context.
Yeah, when they did that whole Oliver in prison storyline in Arrow, Bronze Tiger was one of the other prisoners in that same prison. And then, like, when the inevitable prison riot episode happens, Bronze Tiger helps Oliver fight the bad guys, and you know how it goes.
So it goes.
Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just like, yeah, of course, the guy who's played by the charismatic actor turns out to not be so bad.
Because we can't do anything but write hyper sympathetic villains because that's the one arc we know will work.
Well, to Arrow's credit, most of their villains weren't that sympathetic, and he wasn't a villain. He was just like he was when the villain of the episode needed an enforcer with a cool look, they'd bring in Bronze Tiger. He'd be like the cool henchman for Oliver to fight.
I'm just saying that as I don't want to say as a species, that makes it sound too deep, but art evolves, and I think at the stage we're at with storytelling, we really just keep fucking going into this idea where it's like we have to make every fucking character do the thing where it's we're not so different, you and I.
Yep.
And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like we are. I think we're stuck on this stage. And
that's why I
advanced in our world, and we still haven't fucking let this thing go.
That's part of why I love James Gunn, is because he got criticism for the first Guardians movie having kind of an uninteresting villain. And most screenwriters would have reacted to that by writing sympathetic villains for the later two movies, because that's like a good way to make your villain compelling. But James Gunn, rather than that, challenged himself and just wrote unrepentant pieces of shit who were still compelling. Like, I fucking love the High Evolutionary, because like his whole motivation is he's an egotistical motherfucker, and that's it. There's no reason he's like this. He's just a piece of shit.
It's almost as if James Gunn realizes that if we just fucking make a circle of everyone with good intentions, we don't have hero stories anymore, you schmucks. Because the whole point of what makes a person a hero is the ability to rise above the thing that we're already establishing that we all have.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude. Rise above.
And then, like in Guardians 2, I mean, the villain's name was literally Ego. Like, you can imagine what he thinks about himself in comparison to the rest of the universe. But, like, that's... most writers would have made Ego and or the High Evolutionary, like, at least have a tragic backstory. But James Gunn was just like, no, they're just evil. It's like, all right, fuck yeah.
Not everyone needs to have a fucking tragic backstory.
Yeah. Ego's villain origin story is that he ventured outside his planet and realized the rest of the universe sucked, and took it upon himself to remake the universe in his own image.
Ego's Ego's kind of like the mule from Foundation with like 2 extra steps.
That's honestly kind of the High Evolutionary, except he didn't have to venture outside his planet. He just like was born with a fucking ego the size of Texas.
Also like half of the mule, but yeah, the mule low key impacts a lot. Kind of funny. For those who don't know, the mule is a psychic who, once again, spoilers for the 70-year-old series, motherfuckers. Do your reading.
Yep.
He's a psychic from a planet of psychics that is actually a hive mind. But essentially the psychic was like, fuck all that. I'm just gonna leave. And he leaves, and being a psychic, he takes over a fuck ton of shit really quickly and nearly fucks up the whole galaxy. And you'll hear for a lot of books, a lot of people whining about who could have foreseen this? I mean, truth be told, it's kind of a flaw in the books because
Yeah.
you the Selden plan almost presumes that humans won't evolve. Now, then it is revealed later that the Selden plan actually involves psychics, so it's like we already knew the whole time. But the setup is a little confusing. So yeah.
So I know you haven't read all the books or even any of them to my knowledge, but you know of Grand Admiral Thrawn from Star Wars, right?
Yeah, Blue Dude.
Yeah. So
I've seen enough shit.
well, yeah,
I heard that his books are like, ain't he just evil?
Thrawn?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Fuck, I thought there was a Star Wars dude that like people were happy because he was just evil.
I mean, that's pretty much Palpatine. Like, Palpatine is just evil. There's nothing to Palpatine more than just being evil.
Okay, fuck it. I'll try debating a little bit today. I'm probably not gonna win because I'm fighting fucking giant dune worm in the Star Wars desert. But doesn't he just care about preserving his order, which is the same thing as like the Jedi?
No, Palpatine. So it's somewhat up to interpretation, and obviously different writers have written to different extents. To some extent, he's a true believer in Sith ideology, but it's clear that that's mostly to empower himself, which really is what all Sith ideology is.
Well, yes, but doesn't it isn't that in itself because he's a true believer in Sith ideology. He's like, okay, it's like he's like the Rickest Rick of the Sith.
Kind of. But so like granted this book is part of the old canon, so like, you know, you can make your arguments there, but let's go with it for the moment.
Yeah.
And it's a really recent book. It was one of the last ones they wrote under the old continuity. So it's from like 2013.
I'm going to take all reasonable evidence other than like this guy's got a force power that time travels through rubber. Like,
so in the Darth Plagueis novel, which is shockingly good, by the way, a lot of it's told from Plagueis's perspective, like most of it, in fact.
Plagueis, I hardly know us.
And when he meets this like young 20-something son of the Naboo nobles, like with a political career in his future, Palpatine, the darkness within Palpatine is already there. Plagueis literally just notices it and goes like, you know, hey, you want to learn some cool shit that'll make you way better at what you want to do? And then Palpatine's like, oh yeah, I could be talked into that.
Which one's Naboo again?
The planet from Phantom Menace. The movie doesn't really mention this, but Palpatine is also from Naboo originally.
Face paint people.
That's only the Queen, but yes.
But like, it works. It works to make sure I'm doing this right.
Actually, the Padme novels reveal that the face paint is in part to maintain the Queen's anonymity.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, partial anonymity. Like their name is known, but like they're allowed to be protective of their identity and shit.
That's fun. Okay.
Like that's why they like Amidala is not Padme's real last name. That's what she changed it to upon becoming queen, because you like become part. It's like the Pope. You take on a new name type of thing. Except unlike, well, similar to the Pope as well, the Queen is an elected representative in Naboo's system. So despite being called Queen, like it's much more like a president or a prime minister.
So we've got Chicago Pope. Hear me out. What do you think Black Chicago Pope would pick for a name?
How do I answer that without sounding either silly or potentially insensitive?
It's one of those things you really gotta just pick how you want to go today and full commit. And if it's good, no one cares.
I'm not an expert on like the saints and everything because the popes tend to name themselves after like some revered figure in Catholic history. Um, I don't know. There'll be a Pope John Paul III eventually. I mean, Christ, maybe he'll just go with that one. Maybe make it easy.
That's terrible, and I hate that.
By the way, if you haven't seen it, I recommend the movie Conclave just because it's good.
I saw that with Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
At least one, possibly two of the Pope candidates were black in that movie. That's why I thought of it.
Yeah, Africans, not like African Americans.
Yeah, not black Americans. They were from like African countries. I don't remember which one in particular, but
Could have been Senegal.
yeah, something like that. Because there was the one guy in particular that was important, and then there was like another candidate who just got a scene or two. But the guy who was important was from like Kenya, maybe. Let me find out. Well, I always do this. I always ask a question when the internet's right in front of me and I can answer it for myself.
So I went a different way for picking what the Black Pope would call himself.
Okay, and then I'll talk about why I thought of Thrawn, but go on first.
See, I feel like the Black Pope would just have like a very complicated name. So I looked up the longest saint name. So I think that we would have Pope Alphonsus Mary Anthony John Cosmos Damian Michael Gaspard de la Glory Johnson.
I'd believe that. Yeah, he's Nigerian. That's what it is according to Wikipedia.
Fucking, I was gonna go Nigeria, but I didn't want to be like just throw Nigerians on everything because honestly, if it's Africa, you could usually pick Nigeria.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever white people want to reference a part of Africa that's like relatively modern, Nigeria is the first one they think of.
Well, because Nigerians be emigrating a lot.
I think the reason I said Kenya was because I mixed up Nigeria and Nairobi.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it. Yes. Anyway, the reason I talked about Thrawn. So Thrawn's thing, it's not that he's evil. It's that he believes in keeping the peace and keeping order and seemingly genuinely believes that the Empire can do that if he gets his way.
He's a literal fascist, but an egotistical one. Why him?
What do you mean, why him?
Like, why does he believe that it should be him?
I hate to say it, but he's probably right.
Why?
Because he actually is like a genius.
So we're going with a meritocracy starting fascist regime. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't spend a ton of time in his inner monologue, so it's not clear like how extensive his plans are for imperial reform, but like he believes that a galactic government will succeed in keeping peace, and he believes that if he got his hands on the Empire, he could make that happen.
Say what you will, but the old Republic had a lot of things it clearly was just not doing at all.
By the time of the prequels in particular, yes.
Like I know I always get on my fucking horse about this, but like fucking you got planets run by gangsters where you're farming fucking moisture.
Yeah. Now, granted, it helps that I know you're talking about Tatooine, but that applies to several others as well.
Well, no, that's my point, and like I want to use this to actually segue into something that I did recently, but
Okay.
but fucking like I don't. Okay, you have several planets where they're farming moisture, where everyone seems to be super poor as shit, and they like don't have resources. You have a bunch of planets where you have essentially fuck tons of slave labor. Like, let's be real, just like a ton of it, all over the place. And then you got some planets that are like city planets. I've got the ability to warp jump everywhere, and I've got a fuck ton of Han Solo, Lando Calrissian ass, crazy cargo moving motherfuckers. I don't understand. Like this isn't even like me trying to like be sassy. I don't understand what the fuck we're doing. How is anything like this?
What you mean? Like, why doesn't everyone flee on the first cargo ship they can?
No, like why aren't goods moved in a more appropriate manner? Like where if I can be in Coruscant and I can be in the ghetto of Coruscant where the poor people are, and they're poor, and I can get some water from these poor people who are poor for like dirt fucking nothing. And I can load up a whole fucking ship with it. I can drive my ass over the fucking Tatooine, trade it to rich people, get fucking like diamonds or some shit, and then just drive home and then sell that to the rich people of Coruscant. Look at that one run. I just changed the whole fucking like bloodline right there. Like
I mean,
it's
I'd
crazy.
assume someone out there does that, but
But like on a mass scale, you shouldn't have so much resource need. It shouldn't it shouldn't feel like all these planets are in like, how can we handle this?
well,
Level.
keep in mind that most of the time we see in Star Wars takes place during either the tail end of the Old Republic, where they're corrupt and ignorant and not taking care of things properly, or during the Imperial era, where that's a feature, not a bug.
So I bring this up because this week I watched Mando and Grogu.
Hell yeah. By the way, before we get to that, remembered what I was going to say about Thrawn. I want to say it before we forget.
What you got?
So in not the original Thrawn trilogy, but the two recent ones that are like prequels, we get to see Thrawn's home planet.
Where is it?
It's called, well, they're called the Chiss. I forget what the planet is called, but it's like it's like so on the outskirts of the galaxy that it's arguably not the same galaxy. Like the first book in that trilogy doesn't open with long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It says long time ago beyond a galaxy far, far away.
That's fun.
So this planet is like on the outskirts, and there's like an asteroid field dividing it from the rest of the galaxy. So like getting there is physically treacherous, which is why not that many of them venture out.
You know, why don't they ever have extragalactic threats since they want to always do that shit anyway?
They did that with the Yuzon Vong.
I guess.
But anyway, the whole point is that when I started reading that book, I was like, "Oh shit, we finally get to see more of the Chiss." I wonder, what is a whole planet full of people like Thrawn like? And then we get there, they're not all like Thrawn. He's weird to them too.
Well, what are they all like?
They're just like normal ass people. I mean, they have different cultural values than we do to some extent, but like,
Well, that doesn't say anything. That is Jesus fucking Christ, Neo-lib describing a thing. What do you say?
well, that's what I'm saying is that like, barring small details, in terms of like personality types, they're similar to any other place we go in Star Wars, where they vary a lot.
What do you mean? So, what are they like? Fuck.
They're normal ass people. They also think
There
Thrawn
is
is
no normal. What are they like? What do they do? What are they hunting? Are they warlike? Are they
they're comparable to like, I guess, the Romulans, where they're kind of like a semi hardline militaristic, but they're also not so obsessed with that they neglect all their other fucking facets of life the way some species do. They're not as they're not evil the way that like the Cardassians or whoever would be.
but they favor order type shit?
Yeah, like they're comparable to like the Romulans, or maybe like, the stereotypical version of the Soviets that we see in old movies.
See, isn't that way better than calling them just normal?
Well, when I'm talking like the interpersonal interactions sound like the dialogue exchanges between two Chiss sound more or less the way they would with any other species.
What sort of slice of life interaction between Chiss did you see that really gives you enough of a clear picture to say that?
Well, Again, we're only seeing a small snippet, so I don't know much about their society. My point is that I was expecting them to all be, or not all, but for Thrawn's style of thinking to be way more common amongst them. And then it was like, wait, no, Thrawn is weird even on his own planet. It's like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Well, I mean, he's not there.
Well, he is at the beginning of the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, anyone who leaves their planet clearly is not like a super hardline average for the planet.
So, spoilers for a decade old book. The book opens with these Imperials finding Thrawn in like a wrecked ship, like unconscious or whatever. And he gets like taken in and he rises through the ranks of the Empire and everything. And then at the end, we find out no, he didn't, like, he wasn't in an accident. He planted himself in that spot hoping the Empire would find him because he deemed that if he rises through the ranks of the Empire and has like a commanding stake in it, that's what's best for the Chiss.
Well, there we go.
He's essentially doing a deep cover mission for the Chiss, even though he also believes in the Empire.
Well, did the Chiss support this?
It's unclear. I haven't read all the books in the series yet.
Wow, son of a Chiss. You're really just talking out your Chiss right now.
Yeah, but like,
hey, what the Chiss?
It was just funny for me because I don't know why I expected the planet that Sheldon Cooper comes from to be populated with Sheldon's Cooper, but it wasn't.
By the way, we're gonna take a count every episode of every time we're about to go to one topic, and then you're like, before we do that, I want to rewind 10 minutes.
True. Anyway, you wanted to say something.
Because I feel like that counter is going to be at least 2 every night.
Probably. That's how my brain works. Anyway, you wanted to talk about Mando and Grogu.
No, I didn't. I wanted to talk about something else. Don't you tell me what I want to talk about, Johnny.
True. Okay.
Lay
it on me.
But I'm like, what the fuck is up with these motherfuckers and their isolated resources? So, like, I watch Mando and Grogu, and I get to see Lord Coin. And I get to see a whole room where it's like, check out how baller I am. I got fucking salt rocks. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, do you know how many deserts I've seen in this fucking franchise? Do you know how many fucking deserts I've seen in this fucking franchise? And you aren't selling me the salt is expensive. You're not doing it. Like,
Star Wars has much less of a coalesced galactic government than Star Trek or other franchises do.
I don't even need a government. I'm saying that you have all these money hungry people who are like baseline intelligent. And like, there's no reason that Han Solo is fucking smuggling and not just like moving resources that clearly need to be moved. Like I don't see any legitimate trade that like validates how things work in this universe as much as I know there's the Trade Confederacy, and we got like small independent dudes who seem to never make an impact. No, because like I fucking really started thinking about this. Because like I always see in Star Wars motherfuckers pushing crates onto a ship and motherfuckers pushing crates off of a ship. I'm also constantly seeing places that need things, and I'm never seeing anyone like really just well off. Everyone's always seems to be fucking struggling. It's like,
well, do keep in mind 2 things. One, communications across the galaxy don't work the same way they do in like Star Trek or whatever.
I mean, I can just send a dude.
Yeah, but that leads to me to the second thing I was going to say, which is despite what the writers sometimes forget, the galaxy is really big and it does take a long fucking time to get from one end of it to another, even at light speed.
Are we now using the theory that what they're doing is light speed?
What do you mean the theory? Like it is. They go
Well,
light speed.
no, because like I thought they're going in tunnels around stuff.
No, so light speed.
Don't they have that thing with the whales?
Oh, the whales are just beings that can travel through hyperspace without engines.
If we have hyperspace, we're not using light speed. We're using a whole different mechanic at that point.
Well, so the way it works, apparently, not that the movies explain this much, the light speed allows you to shift into hyperspace. What that
Yeah.
means is that the normal laws of physics don't apply, so you actually can break the speed of light.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, assuming we're gonna ignore the glaring issue of because like we're hyperspace is just a thing. I fucking hate when people do this where they're like, we're gonna half try to rewrite it. You can go from one point in hyperspace to another point in hyperspace instantly because it's fucking hyperspace.
Apparently, no, you can't.
Great, great, okay, great.
Because there is like you can get there very fast, but there is transit time. Like even back during A New Hope, the whole scene where Luke is like training with the robot, the floating robot, that
True.
takes place while they're in transit because it's like, well, I got a few hours to kill. I might as well teach Luke how to do this.
Sure, sure. But like enough that like okay. Now how many ships do you think you've seen blow up in
In
Star Wars?
Star Wars, countless.
Like just imagine if 1/10 of those ships just brought water to places.
Yeah, you're right. It's just Star Wars is a dystopian fucking galaxy. That's one of the things that keeps it interesting to me as I get older. Is that there's so
I
many
don't know
different
if
stories you can tell.
I don't know if it's dystopian in that like okay, like I think of dystopian as like a haunted house made for a kid by a parent. I think of this as like an empty house because the parent hasn't been home in fucking 3 months. This is just neglect. This is not like a dystopia as much as I think this is like ideological neglect.
Uh,
Because like
if you mean in universe, then yeah.
well no, I mean like the writers just don't like they're parts of the rules of their universe they just don't think about and they just neglect thinking about them.
That is true, but that's just Star Wars. Like you just got to get on board with that, or you're not going to have a good time.
I don't wanna.
Dude, there's a giant vagina in the desert that swallows people whole, and no one reacts with horror. They're just like, ah, yeah, the desert pussy. That sucks.
I mean, space monsters be space monsters.
Like in A New Hope, there's a monster in the trash compactor, and none of them freak out. They're just like, oh, yep, that's in there. Great. Now we got to deal with this. Like Star Wars is a batshit insane universe if you think about it for more than like a second or two.
I get that, but I
Like, what
but
the
even
fuck is the legal
interaction.
status of droids?
What the fuck is the mental status of droids?
Well, that's the thing, is that some droids we meet are just simple machines that were programmed with like a walk cycle, and then others are like sentient beings.
Well, so when I'm watching Mando and Grogu, I was reintroduced to this question as all the samurai robots.
Yeah. By the way, did you know those were not only stop motion, but they were stop motion done by Phil Tippett?
I I feel like this movie really tried to do a lot of like puppets and stop motion and shit, and like sometimes it just looks silly.
I gotta say, for all the faults you can find in Disney Star Wars, of which you can find many, one thing I cannot stop giving them credit for, they love their practical effects.
Yeah, but like if we ever like, do you ever stop giving credit ever?
To Disney Star Wars, yeah, there's plenty of
Or
shit
just
that I
in general, you're like a very movie glass half full kind of guy.
I mean, it depends on the movie, but like, I'm also trying to be honest here. So, like, don't get me wrong, Disney Star Wars has a million fucking issues, but one thing I'll give them credit for is they did not embrace the make everything in CG attitude that Lucas had with the prequels. Partially due to the backlash to that. Like, I remember when Force
Yes.
Awakens was coming out, everyone was like, oh my, like, we were seeing the set photos. Holy fuck, it's an actual puppet as the big monster in the corner. Like,
Yeah, but that's literally a bunch of member ass shit. Because like we don't need puppets.
well, I'm talking about before they were doing that. These are like new creatures, but they're done practically.
Yeah, but did you remember how the old Star Wars used to be? It's just like that. It's just like going back. We're
Well,
doing it, guys.
that was Force Awakens, the movie, yes. But before it came out, when we were just looking at the set photos, it was like, holy shit, they're making puppets of new kinds of creatures. Holy shit, they're going all kinds of new places we've never seen before. Oh my god, they're even shooting it on actual film like the originals did. Like, the movie itself wound up being a little too heavy on the member berries, but like, you can't fault
A
the
little too
locations and set
heavy.
design.
It was a smoothie that created the idea of member berries.
Kind of, though ironically, it's nowhere near as bad as the ones that would come later.
Like what?
Like fucking Ghostbusters Afterlife. Or like Happy Gilmore 2. Or,
No, you're tripping on Happy Gilmore 2. Happy Gilmore 2 is not member berries.
oh, I never even saw it. I just saw the trailer and I assumed, but
Wow.
fine,
Fake.
that's on me. But
Fake.
yeah, like, there are other things Disney Star Wars did that are way heavier on the member berries than Force Awakens was.
You're just Star Wars' bravest soldier.
I am, but like the Obi-Wan show, which don't get me wrong, I liked plenty of the stuff in it. The Obi-Wan show was way more about member berries than fucking Force Awakens was.
Bro, you're tripping.
The Obi-Wan show was 6 hours of remember how cool the prequels were.
Yeah, but like, see, the Obi-Wan show is aimed at like it may have been a more intense flavor of member berries because it's aimed at your like Star Wars stands. But Force Awakens is like the Honda Civic member berries, you know? Everyone's getting in the fucking car. And we're getting a lot more mass member berry distribution this way.
It got a lot more distribution for sure, but it's less heavy on the member berry flavored syrup.
What was Han Solo's role in that movie again?
He was basically playing the Obi-Wan of that movie.
He was just there.
No, he wasn't just there. He could say plenty of things about it, but he wasn't just there. He did plenty. Like the general plot of Force Awakens hits all the same beats as like A New Hope in the past movies, but the characters and details and like sets and locations change a lot.
See, guys, it's like the original movies, but different. Remember the old movies?
Well, yes, but the Obi-Wan show was just like the previous movies, and that's it.
I don't even know if that's member berries as much as just plagiarism.
Well, it was the opposite direction. The story was new, but the aesthetics and everything were just the prequels again.
I mean, I might let someone take in aesthetics. When's Yorb getting his own show?
Who's Yorb?
Or was it York?
Do you mean Yord, like the black dude with the fucking dreads from Acolyte? Yeah.
I knew we'd get there eventually if I just kept saying Yor and a syllable at the end. I was gonna get there. I was
about to say he's dead, but that doesn't mean they can't write more stuff with him that takes place before that.
I'm just saying, just spunky little black Jedi with a yellow lightsaber. 3 seasons.
Did I tell you what my thing was with him?
What was I think you did, but I don't remember.
So the whole fucking time Yord was on screen, even though I liked his character, I couldn't trust him. And the reason why is because I'd only ever seen that actor in one previous project, which was Arrow, where he played like a fucking scenery chewing sociopathic fucking monster. So like the whole time he's on screen, I'm like instinctively distrustful of him, even though this character is different.
So he's got a Jesse Plemons badge.
Well, now he doesn't because now I've seen him play different roles. But at the time I watched Acolyte, I'd only ever seen him in Arrow, so I was expecting him to be the guy in the helmet.
I've seen Jesse Plemons do nice things. No, bro, I was so fucking on the head with that one. I
True.
that one felt good.
Oh God, I fucking love Jesse Plemons.
But I'm just saying, if I can tell you who's in the helmet because of your casting decisions, your metagame is fucked up. And you need to really do some better information control.
Well, in
Because
that
that,
case, I was lucky because I'd never seen The Good Place, so I'd never seen that actor before.
I was like, oh, you have Jason Mendoza? He can't, nope, he's in the mask. Watch this. He's buff as shit, too. Like, I bet this guy's going to flex on us. Guy goes, yup, that's him. There he is. Like,
All the fucking chuds shat on that show relentlessly for a million reasons it didn't deserve, but like
those are one
ignoring
reason. It was
ignoring
literally for the witches.
everything else, ignoring every other second of that fucking show, just the fact that a guy in a cortosis helmet headbutts a lightsaber to short it out should have fucking won everybody over. Like
Oh my God.
just that scene
I,
alone.
I, I came. I fucking came. Where I was like, oh. And like, it's great too, because I normally get really like frustrated in like situations like this where we're jumping around ages, where I'm like, how come people aren't doing that? But this is great because do you want to know how many fucking helmets of these I see? I don't. Do you want to know what I do occasionally see? People with stuff made of this. And do you want to know what they occasionally do? Hit you with it. And they try to hit your lightsaber with it. And it's great. It's like, oh no. Like we used to just headbutt lightsabers back in my day. We used to take lightsabers like a fucking man.
Back in my day, the radio had two channels, on and off.
Yo, I'm not, bro. I'm willing to bet that they're gonna try to use that sort of technology to outdo the illegal lightsaber move.
Well, remind me what the illegal lightsaber move is.
Turn that shit off and turn that shit on.
Oh, like as they're swinging, just go shoop shoop.
You can do it then. I can just walk up towards you, boop, boop. Like literally the power of a toggle switch on the lightsaber is the stupid part. Because
Well,
like
they did a bit of that in Last Jedi. Like during that big throne room fight at Last Jedi, at one point she throws him the lightsaber and he just puts it behind his head and turns it on into the path of the other guy.
Yeah, but like I I remember like I think it's an older video where the guy's just like, this is illegal for a reason, and like he like shows every combo from all the moves. He's like, now let me show you something fun. Dead, 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 dead. Obi-Wan, dead. Fucking Samuel, dead. Fucking Neeson, dead.
I assume the in-universe reason is just because the blade doesn't fucking turn on and off fast enough for this, but
even at the speed I've seen it work, it can be done.
I mean, the real reason is because this is a movie and the fight needs to happen. So, you know what? Whatever.
Also, unfortunately, when you consider especially Kylo, that shit was fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah. His was unique due to a few design properties of it, but
sure, but like I know that's unique and yada yada crack kyber crystal yada yada science, but
I was about to bring that up.
I do know ball. This ain't my first rodeo, but
I know.
But like that being said, I'm not gonna assume that everyone else is super slow with a better non-crack crystal.
Yeah, I mean it's not super slow, but it still takes like a second or two. I'd imagine with the right opponent, that second or two with no blade is all they need.
I get what you're saying. At that point, Grievous black bearding lightsabers would be fucking really funnier though.
That is one of many reasons that I recommend to people whenever I get the chance to watch the Genndy Tartakovsky '03 Clone Wars show. Because that's the only time Grievous has actually matched his fucking reputation.
Talk about whoa.
Well, just all of it. Like him running down the side of the building next to the elevator, him fucking like picking up a third lightsaber with his foot.
Well, you say reputation. I mean, you could argue his trophies speak for themselves, but I know what you're saying.
Well, it also helps that because that cartoon came out between the two movies, I actually saw some of that cartoon before Revenge of the Sith. Like before it came out.
Because you did all that and you still ain't even seen Primal.
I haven't seen a lot of fucking Tartakovsky stuff, honestly. I've pretty much just seen Clone Wars and Samurai Jack. Or no, I've also seen Foster's Home.
I want to say Project Unicorn is dope as shit.
And I've seen Symbionic Titan. So I've seen a decent number of his shows, but not every single one.
Okay, so you saw the child Samurai Jack, because we just gotta be clear. You saw Make It Shake It Booty Quake It.
I did see that, for better or worse.
And you saw, ma'am, you have no face and great tits. I love you.
Which thing was that from again?
That's the mayor from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, I've seen Powerpuff Girls here and there, but I haven't like seen the whole show.
I really don't feel like you have to for like that bit to hit.
Yeah, I've seen enough to like get that bit and like get all the like Mojo Jojo. Like I know the basics of Powerpuff Girls. I didn't like sit down and watch through the whole series the way I did with Samurai Jack.
Dog, if like Powerpuff Girls is kind of an interesting example of how like girl power toxic energy sometimes takes shit and puts it in a bad way. Because Powerpuff Girls is a pretty it is good for feminism. But then I remember as a kid, it's just used to market a bunch of shirts at Justice.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking something up. You heard, I assume, about the live action Powerpuff Girls show that they did the pilot for, right?
The pilot came out?
No, it didn't come out, but I'm assuming you heard of it.
I've heard something about it, but I don't know much. So please, like, give me information because I might not know.
There's not a ton to give. It was just that it looked like the worst show ever made, which is probably why the CW didn't pick it up. So there's like some unfinished test footage that leaked, but like nothing substantive, and like some segments of the script, I guess.
I'm personally not a fan of anything the CW does, so I'm not the best arbitrator on this, but like I think taking any of Kennedy's works and trying to remake them is actively a stupid idea. Like,
Well, this
like
one would have. I guess this would have been like more of a continuation.
Oh, that could work.
Yeah, because it's a live action show about them like later on as these like disillusioned 20 somethings who have to like come back to the hero business type of thing.
That was real.
That
I remember
was
hearing about that, but I thought that was fake.
no that they only shot a pilot and then it got really bad reviews in the CW, so they tried to rework it for a couple of years and then just canned it quietly. But
I'm willing to bet that shit was a fantastic project, and the CW people didn't know what the fuck they were talking about as usual.
Normally I'd say that, but given the script segments that we got leaked, no, it was the wise move to not pick the show up.
Show me what you got.
Let me see. Uh, live action Powerpuff Girls script. Oh, I guess the title was just going to be Powerpuff.
Yeah, because they're not girls anymore. That writes itself.
Oh wow, they just have the whole fucking thing, huh? Diablo Cody wrote this? Okay, that's weird.
Who's that?
She's like writer. She did like Jennifer's Body and shit.
Oh.
Where's that fucking exchange about Dirty Dancing?
See, how come you're just like selfishly not sure?
Oh, I mean, there's not much interesting, but
Well, I mean, how would I know?
okay.
Really, it
Yeah,
does not put much direction in here, huh?
yeah, this is just like generic fucking legacy sequel setup shit.
Well, but like, no, I mean, like, they aren't even really describing character. Like, I feel like there's different ways that you could introduce these personalities because we don't necessarily have the personalities nailed in yet because it's a reboot.
Yeah.
It just feels like really open ended.
Yeah, like this line, that's what Xanax. I don't know how about I have a panic attack. That's what Xanax is for. Like that was probably funny 20 something years ago.
Well, I mean, it could be funny if they said if she was like, "Buddy, just take a Xan," and then left or something.
Yeah, part of it is also like
It's just
this
really
line
terrible.
here. Like it's not a terrible line, but it's not. It feels like a line from a script.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is dog shit writing.
Yeah, like this feels like a rough draft where they're like gonna let the actors fine tune the dialogue till it sounds natural, type of thing. And maybe it was intended to be that. I don't know.
The actors shouldn't be fine tuning this dialogue. This needs another draft behind the scenes on. Like this shit should have stayed on your computer.
Yeah, I'm not sure at what point. Like I'm because this it just says script, so I don't know if this is like a draft before they wrote more of it or what. But
Short stack.
yes. Where's the part where like one of them is fucking someone? Because that was the part everyone was like cringing at.
Do they super come?
Uh, we don't see it because it's the CW, but yes. There was also like the really kind of silly exchange between them and the professor about like fucking Dirty Dancing or something.
As in the movie?
Yeah, like she's like, there's some line where she says, remember how Baby wanted to go to school, but she also wanted to be a fancy slut? And I'm like, you don't remember that movie very well, do you?
I mean, I do think that's hilarious.
There was one, if I can find it, there was one line in there that I thought was like amusing. Uh, I don't care about that. I could just search for it, but I want to find it the old-fashioned way.
The old fashioned way is control F like a fucking man.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I want to fucking actually just scroll till I find it if I can.
How is that the old fashioned?
Where are you, you sumbitch?
I really feel like this script just someone needs to take this idea and just redo it.
Yeah, well, here's the other one I was thinking of. This whole like scene
So
where
hold
she's
on.
fucking some lady.
So, um, the fact that they do a dramatic bumping sound for lesbians with superpowers is like, who the fuck? Like, this shit was written for the Caddyshack audience, my boy.
To be fair, only one of the lesbians has superpowers, but yeah.
Okay, and we're still Buffy fucking. We're still immediately Buffy fucking. Bro, anyone got superpowers? We're Buffy fucking. And for those of you that don't know, we're in the sky. We're fucking in the sky, damn it. We are invincible fucking. Pick any franchise that you've seen do it. We're doing that. What are you talking about? Nah, dude. All I want to hear is just
You know
coming
how
from a
people always joke, like, why does Mary Jane stay with Spider-Man, given all the fucking trouble he gives her? Like, you know how people always say that?
No, never heard that because I know he slangs.
Well, that's the thing, is like, when you can fuck on the ceiling, it's really hard for any subsequent boyfriend to compete.
I mean, when you shoot unlimited webs, it's hard to compete. Like, listen, I could do these bits all day. We have to move on from this topic. But
Technically, only some versions of him can shoot webs, but
oh my fucking god. Yeah, and technically, the ones that don't, he could build a thing that could shoot more webs for him. So relax, bud.
By the way, it is canon that he and Mary Jane do things with the webbing.
No shit.
No, but like they officially admitted it back in the day. Like back when they
Shit.
were back before they were pants shitting terrified to have Spider-Man grow up or have any agency or character development.
Who would not do BDSM with the webs?
Yeah, sometimes he gives Mary Jane the fucking web shooters and they switch positions,
Are you just making headcanon now?
No, I mean, I think the one I saw was official art because it wasn't pornographic, it was just flirtatious, but I think the one I saw was official art.
It's relapse time. All right, every line I've read from Bubbles just screams bad writing.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what this reminds me of?
What?
A white version of Mindy Kaling,
Yes.
right? Writing fucking Velma. This is exactly where, like, the idea wasn't the problem. The problem was who the fuck you let write it.
I never saw Velma, but I saw clips from it, and I was like, nope.
See, they like. I knew the show was trying when its opening scene was literally horny animated buns on Maine.
Yeah, and if that had been like a college setting, fine. But like that was high school, man. That's a little weird.
And then they're like, all right, we're calling Shaggy Norval. All right, fine, I'll move on with it. And then now, listen, I very much enjoy. I think it's Mystery Inc. That rendition of Fred, where he's essentially just autistic about traps.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Where like all he wants is just traps. And like Daphne's like, Fred, can we go on a date? And he's like, not now. I'm reading Ropes magazine. Like, but and like I listen, I get Fred has to be like obtuse. We have to do things with him. But they ended up turning him into like just
I don't want to watch a video. Fuck you.
Man, baby.
Is this it? Is it from a different draft? Is that why? Jerry Orbach. Yeah, here it is. Here's the line. She
Hold
the
on,
only
when you said Drake, that's the professor?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the only line that I thought was actually funny is when she says, in Dirty Dancing, Baby wanted to join the Peace Corps, but she also wanted to be a fancy slut, which again, you don't remember the movie very well. The only line I thought was funny is that he remembers the name of that actor and she doesn't.
She kind of was trying to be a fancy slut. I don't think you got to be so critical of that.
I'm not critical of it. It's just a really reductive way to describe Dirty Dancing. And she wasn't a slut. She
Well,
only fucked the
okay,
one guy.
so okay, if I'm gonna be really fucking hyper specific, because I don't know how, but I'm gonna try. Do you remember when she goes to the party specifically for the workers?
Well, yeah, but she just wants
No,
to
hold on,
fucking
hold on. But like, do you remember how excited she was?
yeah.
But you remember how also then like that was the same night that she really wants to be daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
One could take from this the interpretation that she's trying to balance all these different hats at once and trying
No,
to be
I
all.
know, but is she a slut if she only fucks the one guy?
I think you're taking slut in the d- diminishing way and not a woman who takes ownership of her sexuality.
No, I that part I agree with, but like, is it still slutty if you take ownership of your sexuality and then
No,
reserve it for one particular person?
you're taking the word slut and you're already applying the negative connotation though.
I guess.
You're like slut, bad word. Slutty, a bad thing. And it's like, nah, she just wants to be a fancy slut, you know? She want to fuck sometimes. Like Amber Rose on the slut walk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm also trying to find that in. Oh, somehow I fucking missed it. Oh yeah, because they changed the fucking dialogue. I think.
Let's see here.
Yeah, they cut out the Jerry Orbach. Or no, they changed it. I guess. Yeah, so this is from a different draft of the script. All right. Yeah, so it's not funny anymore because now she does remember Jerry Orbach's name. Congratulations, you had one actual joke and you fucked it up.
This just in. Larry has lost faith in the abandoned Powerpuff pilot because a one-off line about Jerry Orbach was given to the titular character rather than her disappointed father, who should have a much better knowledge of Dirty Dancing
Well,
than his.
it's not even just that. I always have like kind of a soft spot for that style of humor where someone makes a reference that they half remember and then another person for some reason knows the whole reference.
Well, at that point, that's just doing shit we've already done.
It's just funny, like, when
So,
you got a movie and the guy's like, yeah, that second Avengers movie, and then someone who has no business knowing goes, you mean Age of Ultron? Like,
but I've seen it so many times. So
no, I
like
know. It's just
at this
fucking.
point, it's just the ghost from Mario. Boo.
Well, the show never got made, and all the actors
The show
fucking.
should have been made.
All the actors dropped out, I guess.
Oh well, I mean, I don't give a fuck who they cast. I'm not attached to anyone for this project.
So, I have a few things to discuss tonight. First of all, I've only seen
But
part
before
one.
you do that, let me rewind 20 minutes to something else.
Do you want to?
Oh no, I'm just being a silly goose. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I've only seen part one, so no spoilers, but I saw part one of the Maquis episode of DS9.
Oh, I do actually want to bring up something now.
Okay.
Mandalorian and Grogu. It's really nice that they did that shout out to Chowder.
Which one?
Rada rada. Rada rada.
Oh, yeah.
Rada rada. No, even the whole movie. Anything, because like they say his name so much. And every time I'm just like rada rada. Rada rada rada.
So do you remember what Rada is from originally?
I'm gonna take a guess at a video game.
Clone Wars. The pilot movie of Clone Wars, which, yes, they did for some reason. The whole plot of it was about Anakin and Ahsoka having to rescue Jabba the Hutt's son so that they could secure like trade routes in his space or whatever.
That kid stays getting kidnapped.
Well, that was why when they announced it, everyone's joke was like, "We already did. Rada gets kidnapped."
I
But like when they
I
bring up that old hologram of him as a baby, and then they say, obviously he's grown since then. Like that's what
yeah,
he looked like in the Clone Wars movie 20 years ago.
that was familiar. Okay.
But I really loved the way Rada fought. Like that kind of gator roll thing he always did. Like, oh, that was so fucking cool.
I mean, he he he's just Sumo Slug.
Yeah, I love it.
I I was kind of put aside where I'm like, so what are the Huts jacked or fat?
Uh, just given their cultural values and shit, most of them get fat, but they don't have to.
Like, well, because like then, because Rada goes to square up with the twins, and they essentially just do a fucking like chest bump.
Well, yeah, because for most huts, their sheer size is all they got in terms of combat advantage.
Yeah, but Rada ain't most Huts. He shouldn't be going and chest bumping. He should be going and fucking you up.
Yeah, I mean, it is like a PG-13 movie, so maybe that's why. Maybe they just didn't want to have a protagonist like breaking people's jaws.
It was a chest bump, hug, hug.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very limited extent to which I'll go to bat for 3 episodes of Mandalorian taped together into a movie, but I liked a lot of the stuff in it.
The great I liked a few things in it, or so something that like some things I didn't like. Thing I
Okay.
didn't like, Grogu puppet doing shit. They were I understand they want to use the puppet and all that. At a certain point when like it's like Grogu getting water and it's like all right, buddy, that's buddy. Come, I shouldn't have to say what I'm like. Come on, right?
Yeah, I mean, the puppet has like some CG enhancements sometimes, so
Well, yeah, but couldn't you enhance its fucking hand so like it doesn't look like it's just spinning a fucking like a wrist on top of a bottle?
I mean, I don't really mind because honestly, when you go back and watch the originals, that's what the puppets look like there too.
Yeah, okay. So in other words, we're gonna let it slide because of member berries. That's
Well,
exactly the nostalgia fueled bullshit that makes us not have good new content.
well, more like we're gonna let it slide because they've established that sometimes people move like that.
I feel like I'll let the old one slide because that's what they had. But like I don't want to stay with that technology level.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the puppet is like a lot more complex than the '80s era ones were, of course. But
I
I mean,
mean,
I get it. There's limitations, and sometimes they'd rather just live with them rather than CG it. Like, all right, that's fine.
bro, every time that puppet jumps, it just looks like someone threw that shit from off fucking screen.
I find that charming, but you are correct.
Like, it's like
I just find that charming because it reminds me of every like '80s fantasy movie I loved.
I see. That's where I get it if we're trying to do homages, but
Yeah,
we're just not moving on anymore.
that is true, but like I care much more about that problem in terms of like storytelling and settings rather than like, oh, the puppet looks like a puppet sometimes. Like, well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
I get what you're saying, but I feel like James would say we can care about multiple of these at once. And
Well,
and
James
I,
would say, "Go away. I'm busy working on Avatar 7."
okay, yes, but then I'd say, haha, James, I have placed the bomb near the Titanic and I shall destroy the historical value
You know,
unless you raise the bomb.
I've said it before, but my God, dude, I'd fucking like sell my soul for one more James Cameron Terminator movie.
I just want to like I what I truly want is like a James Cameron movie that's not a reboot of Dances with Wolves. That's not a reboot of something else. That's not a fucking historical thing. Like I want a movie about how he feels in today's world. It doesn't need to be about today's world, but just like a thing based with emotion from now.
Yeah, you want like another The Abyss or whatever.
Something. Just give me something. Fucking make a thing, please.
Yeah,
Like I,
at least write it, if not direct it.
yeah, that you just write it at least. Make a fucking thing, James. Like,
Well, he was like a story consultant on Terminator Dark Fate, and you can tell because half the movie feels good and half of it feels like generic legacy sequel hog slop.
if George R. R. Martin can fucking team up and make fucking Elden Ring, what is your excuse, James Cameron?
His
Like,
excuse is that he's busy making Avatar sequels till he dies.
oh, dude, bro, I still didn't fucking see the third movie.
I need to see the second and third actually, but I'll get to them at some point.
Say his name.
Whose name, the main character?
Yeah.
That I remember because I did see the first. His name is Jake Sully, or as they say it in
Oh,
Navi,
wrong.
Jake Sully.
Jake Sully.
Yeah.
Jake Sully. Sorry, I oh god, I vocal stem that shit for you. Jake Sully. Jake Sully.
So, a few things about DS9 Part 1 of the Maquis. So, first of all, I called it the second this guy showed up that he was in on it.
Oh yeah, no, he does have that kind of face, like a.
Well, it's also like they're not going to introduce a new old friend of the main character unless they plan on doing something with that old friend.
Plus, if you want me to be meta and annoying, we can't have two older black guys with similar hairlines on screen that have comparable motivations. So one of them is gonna have to turn against the other one at some point very soon.
I'm gonna be fucking. Well, I'm not gonna be racist. I'm gonna accuse racism. I strongly suspect the reason they made sure he was in this uniform is because they thought people couldn't tell the two black guys apart.
That is very true. That is exactly why they did that. That's exactly
in that slight defense, with TVs of that era, it was harder to tell the different actors apart.
It's also like column A and column B.
It's what?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Well, yeah. But when I say it was hard to tell the actors apart, part of why I say that is because you can tell, given how often they reuse guest actors, that they were relying on you not being able to tell that that's the same actor in different makeup.
Well, they're also just, I think, they expect Star Trek fans to have suspension of disbelief because
that too.
Star Trek fans clearly care about lore and not just westerns in space.
It is really funny that Star Trek fans are so fucking like anal about continuity when Star Trek itself is so fucking lax about continuity.
I feel like Star Trek is not lax about continuity.
Not the major beats of continuity, but in terms of like little things such as how old is a character, like they get that shit wrong all the fucking time.
Yeah, and I think the best way I can describe that is, why do I care?
Yeah, I mean you don't really. It's just like before I watched this actually, I watched the episode of Next Gen where spoilers, where Alexander from the future comes back and is trying to like mold his younger self into a warrior and everything.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. Every time Alexander shows up, I just sigh. I'm like, here we go.
Well, in that episode, and granted, this could just be like the filtered lens of his memory, but in that episode, the older Alexander says he was 3 when his mother died, but if you do the math, he wasn't.
I do remember this debate specifically. I will say that I do not subscribe to the obsessions of next gen nerds. I subscribe to the obsessions of Deep Space Nine nerds, and you'll notice we care about more important things like war and religion.
True. Honestly, like if you go back far enough in Star Trek to like the really early episodes of the original series, it took them a little bit of time to even settle on the name Starfleet.
Oh yeah, no. See, if I I like to think that we all accept TOS as fucking wacky as shit. Like, like, okay, this is gonna sound really crazy, but I want you to hear me out.
Okay,
You know Futurama, right?
I do.
So you know Zap Brannigan.
Yeah,
You know how like Zap Brannigan will show up to a place and he's doing something like something is legitimately happening, but like almost 80% of what comes out of his mouth is just fucking stupid.
yeah.
That's kind of how you should take TOS. Like
I
like
wouldn't
Zap
go with
Brannigan is
80%, but yes.
yeah, I know, but like Zap Brannigan is just TOS, and like believe me, they know this. Like we know this because it's he really just kind of Aura farms before there was Aura farming.
There's a really early episode of TOS where Kirk says something like, I'm from the United Earth Space Fleet. And I'm like, no, you're not.
I remember that one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was like literally the second or third episode, though. So, like, it's a little more forgivable.
I mean,
Or hell, the second pilot, they hadn't worked out the costumes yet, so everyone's wearing those like hideous fucking turtleneck sweaters. And because that episode didn't air first, it aired third. Paramount has it in air date order, so the costumes just switch for one random episode and then switch back. Like, there's also like a different ship's doctor in that episode. Like McCoy isn't there yet. Sulu's there, but he's not helmsman yet. He's like a botanist.
he's Asian. They had him working on bonsais. He was working his way up.
I just remember when I watched that episode, I said to one of my friends, based on the costumes in this episode, it apparently takes place during the tragic fabric shortage of 2265. Because they're all wearing these fucking hideous ass turtlenecks.
Hey, relax on the turtlenecks, buddy. It's almost fall, and I wear like exclusively turtlenecks.
Oh no, it's not that turtlenecks are hideous. It's that these particular turtlenecks are hideous.
True. Yeah, the entire fall I just look like a member of the Lonely Island because I wear turtlenecks and chains.
Hang on, where's the in I haven't seen it yet, but in Strange New Worlds, there's an episode where we briefly see like an old photo of Pike and Robert April when they were serving together. And in reference to those old shitty uniforms, just for that one photo and never any other time, Pike is wearing that shitty turtleneck in that old photo.
We love that. We love that. See, no, like they care.
I can't find it though. I mean, I could go dig, but it's not worth it because I can just describe to you. It looks like a turtleneck, but ugly. Like, it's not that big a deal.
I'm slowly making my way through fucking Lego Batman.
I love that game so much.
I it's hard to not get distracted and just like fuck shit up.
Oh, I do that all the time.
It's very hard to not just fuck shit up.
I said this to you earlier. I don't know if you saw the text, and I'm not saying I'm like demanding this. I just expect it to happen at some point. How long do you think it'll be till they greenlight some sort of Star Trek project that's about Robert April's tenure as Enterprise captain?
Yeah, see, I think I answered this. I don't think they're gonna go back that way.
Really?
I just I think Strange New Worlds was the furthest they wanted to go with that bit. Is what I think.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sorry. I was just responding to my mom in case I was
Okay.
important.
Okay,
I'm not saying they'll do like a whole show of it, but like, I'm surprised they haven't done at the very least like a flashback episode of Strange New Worlds.
that I could see happening,
Or
definitely.
yeah, or like a streaming movie, like a little fucking hour, 40-minute streaming movie.
Oh fuck! Why did you remind me? I have to watch that dog shit movie. God damn it!
What movie?
You know which one.
No, I don't.
The fucking Section movie.
Oh, I heard that was bad. I haven't seen it yet.
I started it and I was like, this is painful, and it made me upset because like that's one of my favorite bits of lore.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should do more Star Trek streaming movies. I'm just saying that if you had enough fuel for an hour and 40 minutes and nothing more, that's an option. Or do like a 3 episode miniseries or whatever.
I think we're gonna be doing a lot of post burn shit.
That's probably going to be it. And like that's probably for the best in terms of originality. I'm surprised they've never done at least a flashback episode about Robert April's tenure as captain.
I just
Like I'd be curious to see just a little of that, you know?
it feels like more like well, I'm not saying people wouldn't care. It feels like something where they'd be like, see, we remember you guys, but not something that they put that much effort. Like, okay, well, I'll tell you this. I'm changing my vote. I'm changing my vote completely.
Okay.
You're gonna get a Lower Decks episode.
Isn't that show over?
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Are they doing another one?
I don't think so, no. I think that show did finally properly wrap up. Let me find out.
It's over?
Yeah, it did. It wrapped up at the end of 2024.
I thought, damn.
It got 5 seasons. That's a fairly respectable amount.
No, it's fine. Like, it's just like it doesn't need to be that particular show, but with that show, we realize the hole that we've had this entire time.
Of not following like the no name people.
No, the
Okay.
convention show.
True.
The show for the motherfuckers who want stupid like look at this way. There's an episode of Lower Decks where you get to see the fucking citation deck.
Oh, I've seen that.
And like there were like that came out and like a bunch of people watched it and went cool. And there was a group of people who all did the Leonardo DiCaprio meme the moment that came on screen. And that show was made for that. That show's that show has an officer. I'm not gonna try to fucking do the translation right now, but he talks the way the fucking like XYZ at XYZ.
Oh, Darmok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a guy who constantly talks like that.
Yeah.
You would get to hear it all the time again because that's a cool thing that exists.
You know, the cetacean ops thing would explain why the fucking Enterprise, being as massive as it is, seems to be short on space for its fucking crew.
Literally, people have got into this and there's diagrams about it.
Because I just recently watched the TNG episode Lower Decks, and one of the ensigns who make up the main characters for this episode is commenting that he hopes he gets promoted to lieutenant so he can get his own quarters. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're telling me that like a ship this fucking massive can't have 1,000 individual rooms?
Yeah, no, they're in bunks, or they're like bunk rooms.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that case, it's like it's more like a little apartment with 2 bedrooms type of thing. Like I think they each have their own bedroom.
No, they do not have their own space.
I don't know about that though, because we see like fucking. I mean, first of all, we see the guest quarters, which they have open all the time.
Yeah, they're guests, not sailors.
Well, no, I know that. It's just like I'm thinking back on all the times we saw like a relatively low-ranking officer's quarters.
Officer.
Well, this guy was an officer. He was just an ensign. The ensigns are officers.
Yeah, but like Are all the ensigns officers? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, ensign is an officer rank.
Yeah, but how does Star Trek do this? Is it like what's under ensign again?
Well, nothing's under ensigns in terms of officers.
No, not officers. There's like what's like
Oh, there's like enlisted guys.
yeah, like what are the ranks in terms?
Enlisted guys, other than like Chief O'Brien, because he's like chief petty officer, most of the enlisted guys don't have ranks at all. Like you see enlisted guys in the background of TNG, and they just wear a normal uniform with no ranks insignia on the collar.
Yeah, did you think each of those guys gets a fucking room?
No, not those guys, but an ensign I figured would. Because an ensign is an officer.
Yeah, but like just like being an officer don't mean you've done shit yet. That just means you're on the officer track.
Also, we went to one of them's quarters in the episode, and like they just looked like the normal quarters set, presumably because they only build one of those fucking sets and redecorate it for every character.
If I gotta defend it, I'll say that's the flagship and it's different.
Well, yeah, I'm just talking about on the flagship. Like, I'm not
Oh,
shocked
okay.
that like a smaller ship has guys sharing quarters, but like you'd think the Galaxy class flagship would have 1,000 individual bedrooms.
I don't think of Starfleet as a competent organization.
They generally are. Like, don't get me wrong, they have their moments, but like generally speaking, there's sensible design principles.
Are they? Because like I I mean sensible scientists who live in the Federation.
Also, in Strange New Worlds, we see Pike's quarters a ton, and they're like really big, and he's got a full ass kitchen and everything. And then like Uhura has roommates and shit. All right, well Uhura's only an ensign, fine. But during Pike's era, the Enterprise had like literally half the crew size it did under Kirk's. Like literally half.
Well, no, but you're when you're saying under Pike's era, you're talking about the unmodified era because this has time mumbo jumbo from Burnham going back. So it's different.
True. That's the real explanation for any continuity error in Star Trek.
It's
Just
Michael
assume there's some
Burnham.
time travel bullshit at play.
Well, I like that Star Trek leans in with frustration with itself. Like I know you haven't reached it yet, but there is a moment in Deep Space Nine in which some characters express
You've
some
sent me
deep,
the clip. I know what you're talking about.
yeah, some deep frustration.
17 separate violations from Kirk.
You can see one of them actively almost start fucking like throwing fucking fists, and it was like,
I love that. Next time I watch Star Trek, like whenever I finally buy the Blu-ray or whatever, I actually need to go through every time travel episode with Kirk and try to determine what all 17 fucking violations are.
I think part of the joke is we do not see all of them.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure part of the joke is they named extra, so like comic guys would do this thing.
Well, they don't say like 17 times he time traveled. They say 17 temporal violations. So he could do more than one per time travel.
I think my point stands, which is what we're doing now. Everything about this conversation was planned. In that they're like we're gonna put Kirk and a number and temporal violations, and everyone who ever has gotten into a debate at a comic book shop is gonna go back and forth on what that means. What
now
counts?
That I think about it, TOS had a lot more time travel than the later shows did.
Yeah, because it's wonky as shit.
Certainly, if you adjust for episode count, I mean.
Yeah, no, like percentage-wise, those motherfuckers are all over the place.
Yeah, in TOS, they time traveled, I think, 4 times. One of which was on purpose. That's one of the like weird things in hindsight is one episode they time travel back to the 60s and it was literally a mission assigned to them by Starfleet to do it.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the craziest thing to imagine Starfleet would occasionally do that. It's just notable because every other time they time travel in Star Trek, it's either an accident or a spur of the moment decision they make to rescue someone.
I like to imagine they just realized behind the scenes, like, we should not be sending people to do this.
Well, in that one time, it was literally their mission was just observe the event to make sure nothing happens. Of course, then the plot kicks in and they get involved, but their actual assigned mission from Starfleet Command was just sit there and watch and make sure it goes the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, but you know how that goes, you know. First, you're just watching. Next thing you know, Velcro's a thing.
Yeah. Well, I know the episode you're referencing. I know it's kind of like, people say with X-Files or whatever show, how come fucking Scully never believes it's aliens, even though it's aliens every episode? And I always, or like Indiana Jones, why does he never believe the artifact is magic, even though he's seen magic artifacts? And I always say, well, because in between last time he found a magic artifact and now he's found 20 other artifacts that claim to be magic and weren't. Or with X-Files. In between every case where it's aliens, Mulder and Scully work like 7 other cases where it's just something normal.
I get what you're saying, but like, so okay. So when I was a kid, I went to Disney World.
Nice.
And I went to Animal Kingdom. And there was this trash can.
I know what you're going to tell me.
And now, there's a setup across Animal Kingdom at certain trash cans where there's a dude in a room somewhere who is communicating with janitors and other people near these trash cans and has access to cameras and shit like he's the fucking architect from the Matrix. And he fucks with kids. And that is his job. Like that is what he does. I know this sounds outrageous, but like
this will be the 6th time we have thrown something away in the giraffe exhibit, and we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
Well, So I was going along, just being a little kid. I threw a thing in a trash bin, and the trash said thank you.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to tell me something else.
I was like, you're welcome, trash can. And me and this trash can had a little bit of a conversation. And like my parents watch this, and they're like, this is amusing. But see, here's the thing. The rest of the day, I talk to every fucking trash can. Now, I'm a grown-ass man. If I ever go back to Disney, I'm going to talk to trash cans.
Yeah.
And like here's the thing, it happened once. I can't ever. It's probably a funny bit that like someone's gonna enjoy me talking to the trash cans, but like here's the thing, it happened once. I know trash cans there can talk. I don't give a fuck how many duds I go through because trash cans can talk there. Now,
I'm sure
you've fucking aliens.
I'm sure you've seen the tweet where it was like, I think he was saying that designing trash cans for the zoo is really difficult or something. And someone asked why, like why in particular, and he said, because you'd be shocked how much overlap there is between smart bears and dumb humans. It wasn't the zoo, rather. It was a nature trail, but...
That's hilarious.
He was like, yeah, it's really hard to design a trash can that the dumbest person can figure out, but the smartest bear can't.
Huh.
Animals are fucking... I've mentioned this before. Granted, golden retrievers are exceptionally smart dogs most of the time, but I've literally seen video evidence of golden retrievers that have successfully been potty trained.
Yeah.
Like this golden retriever hops up on the toilet, poops in the toilet, and flushes with his paw as he gets off.
And there's straight up monkeys and apes that use tools. We ain't special.
Well, yeah, but they're a lot closer to us evolutionarily, so it makes like that's less surprising that they could figure out tools.
When you say that, that's just xenophobia in disguise because you cannot understand why something's capable of doing something because it's like you.
Well, man, fuck you. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. I'm not wrong. I'm still not wrong. This is why aliens wouldn't like us. I'm just fucking saying. It's shit like this.
So I have a question about this fucking Maquis episode. Or not a question, more just an observation. I really love that they have the Maquis use all the stereotypical, like, insurgent tactics. And the reason they do that is because they are desperately trying to convince you, the viewer, that the Maquis are wrong. when in reality they are unambiguously correct.
Maki, you're right.
Well, I just love like, do you want to start another war with Cardassia? And I'm thinking, no, I want to fly to orbit around Cardassia and nuke the planet from orbit with fucking lasers.
There's only one thing though. There's one fucking argument that can kind of be made here.
What's that?
Because the Maki are ideologically and morally right. Here's the thing. They can't kill that fucking empire by themselves.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem.
So it's kind of stupid. It's this balancing act of like, you're so right, but you guys need to like hole up on a fucking planet and build a gun or something. Like,
honestly, and I get that, like, you know, people fucking become connected to the land they live on and shit. If I were on one of those fucking colony planets that was now Cardassian territory, I would just leave. Like, I understand why they don't. I'm not saying they're wrong for staying. I'm saying if it were me, I would have just left.
So white man says, if I lived in Palestine, I just wouldn't.
But see, here's the difference. Palestinians are penned in like fucking caged animals, whereas the Cardassians literally said to all the colonists, all right, you got X amount of time to leave. I'm assuming it was like a reasonable amount.
Okay, that's a lot of assumptions, one. Two, I'm sure Israel often says that shit when they encroach on a new land swath.
I'm sure they say it, but I think now, okay, yeah, the Cardassians are space Israel. Maybe they don't mean it, but like at least as depicted in Next Gen, in that frankly kind of stereotypical Native American episode, those guys explicitly just like said to the Cardassians, like, we accept the consequences of staying, and the Cardassians are like, all right, you're welcome to leave while we set up, but if you stay, and that's fine.
Yeah, because this way, Next Gen is like my shirt, and DS9 is like me, black and white versus both black and white at the same time.
Yeah, it actually is really funny that Next Gen seemingly wraps that whole storyline up, and then like 3 weeks later, DS9 does an episode where they're like, no, there's a bunch of shit left to deal with that the Enterprise gets to leave.
Well, like, yeah, let's talk about that really quick here. Thanks, Picard. I'm glad you solved the problem. But
yeah, you solved this particular problem, and we're thankful. And then you leave and go off on another adventure while we deal with all the nitty gritty.
Now, for the actual bit of the problem that matters, like, fucking
yeah. I mean, to be fair, he only solved it for that one particular colony, and they're talking about the other colonies, so it's a more implicit connection, but
listen, I'm not giving Locutus any points.
By the way, I found this out from the wiki. They never confirmed this in canon, but it is like canon to the writers. Chakotay is supposed to be from that Native American colony planet.
I thought it was implied, but I didn't want to assume.
They never found a way to explicitly confirm it, but yeah, they were writing with that in mind, so I think implications made their way into the episodes.
I'll be real with you. I hate Chakotay's entire character, and I think it is like so racist.
Oh well, yeah. I know this from YouTube stuff.
Akuchiwaka. Like, shut the fuck up.
The guy they hired as their full-time Native American consultant had forged all his credentials. Like, we found out years later after the show ended that he'd forged all his credentials, and he got like fucking not disbarred because he's not a lawyer, but like he got fucking kicked out in disgrace over it.
Well, because he talks like fucking Cheech Marin in South Park.
Well, I'm not talking about Chakotay. I'm talking about the writer who they consulted with. But
well, I mean, I imagine it just bleeds down.
Probably, yeah. But so yeah, that because I remember one of my YouTube guys did a whole video about Star Trek Voyager, like the good and the bad and everything. And one of his comments was he's talking about each individual character, what he likes about them, what he doesn't. And so when he was talking about Chakotay, he mentioned like the depiction of Chakotay's culture is like stereotypical enough that I kind of want to call it. Like he goes, I'm not very racially sensitive, but if you are, you'll probably find this depiction racist.
It's not even that. It's like I'm not gonna go out and be like it's racist. I'm gonna say this. Chakotay is, I think Chakotay is emblematic of the shit that I think is wrong with Star Trek. Where
White people paternalistically writing stories about other cultures.
white people paternalistically writing about the galaxy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. No, I'm actually really glad that you put it in those terms because I'm often bitching to you in private about Starfleet
Yeah.
because I think I say that I often call them cultural colonists, but it's a little better to say that they're kind of white people in that they go, no, no, no. What? Listen, this prime directive, it's because we need to nurture all these cultures until they're ready to have interaction with the grown community of the galaxy. Because see, we understand how it should be. And I just want to remind all of you that the Vulcans showed up to us first. So all of you shut the fuck up. Like,
Well, to be fair, they do explain that the Vulcans were going to fly right by until they noticed Cochrane's warp engine, because the normal dividing line is, do they have warp drive?
yeah, but that making that as a fucking line is dumb. And I like
It's not the only line, to be clear. It's just a standard one. Like a standard marker for they are ready to interact with us is they have warp drive.
I get that. It's just really funny the idea of like we're gonna decide that.
Also, you could also make the argument that warp drive is a good divider because that means, okay, they have that. That means they are free to leave their solar system. That means we will have to deal with them sooner or later. Let's get off on the right foot.
I would argue that that means your divider is just you interacting with who you have to.
Yeah, I'm not
And
saying that's good. I'm
this is
just
like a
saying,
Nash equilibrium level of game theory where like we're not going for the optimal result as much as we're going for the least damaging guaranteed, which I
yeah, I'm
don't
not saying it's good
think
for
is
them to be
good.
that way. I'm just saying I understand it.
Like I can understand it from a hypothetical perspective, but I think when we get into practice, it's incredibly diminishing.
The
Um,
whole how paternalistic Starfleet slash the Prime Directive can be is heavily dependent on who is saying it and how much of their own personality they're letting in.
absolutely. Well, the reason I don't like it is because it allows for it. Like,
Yeah,
wait. For example, I talk about this sometimes. Kirk and the Prime Directive go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly because he understands the point.
yeah, exactly. And so does Picard, honestly,
No,
to
he
varying
doesn't.
degrees.
No, he doesn't.
To varying degrees.
Picard cares about the Prime Directive. Like, have you ever seen Devil's Advocate?
No, but I know of it.
The way Devil's Advocate cares about the law. Like, from a technicality standpoint, Picard cares about the Prime Directive. From a like I understand he has that whole fucking moral grandstanding. He's wrong. He should go fuck himself. But like, even aside from that, he fucking plays it like a legal game. And
Well,
I
the
mean,
reason the reason I said dependent on the episode is because I think of that episode where Data becomes like pen pals with the little girl.
yeah,
And like the second Picard realizes Data can save this planet without letting them know, but he's like, "Oh, conveniently I have to go stare at something over here while Data does that. Oh no, what am I gonna do?"
see, I get that, and I mean, my biggest criticism from Picard also has an example of that. And I mean, you know the one I talk about because I bitch about it all the time. Picard lets drugs sell, but at the end
Yeah,
of that, his solution is essentially, well, technically, guys, I'd be breaking the Prime Directive if I fixed your ships. So I guess I'm
that
gonna
is
make your
true,
planet
but do keep in mind, citing season 1 episodes is cheating.
I I feel you, but this one just I can't let this one go. Like it's just this fuck. This is
Yeah,
like a cheat episode because it's not even like it's changed much since then. It feels like that was the blueprint for what we got going forward.
it,
Which was him slyly looking at the camera like, isn't this technically the Prime Directive?
yeah, it can be.
And it's like, all right, Picard, so you are actively playing a fun lawyer like technicality game, and the person suffering an entire planet going through relapse. What?
Now, granted, that's
Bro.
brief, but
Granted, the amount of suffering is
yeah,
immense. Like, no, like that's crazy levels of
yeah,
suffering.
they made sure that no one would literally die, and then they were like, good enough.
Yeah, so he Batmaned the planet. He Batmaned an entire fucking planet.
Yeah, he pulled a I won't kill you, but you'll wish you were dead from your hospital bills.
Yes. Like you're not a good guy. You're morally not a good guy, and like his whole thing is what technically did it. Yeah, fuck you. You used the Prime Directive like a legal tool. Meanwhile, Kirk also used it like a legal tool. He's like, now see, I don't like you, and I just thought of a way that technically you're breaking this rule. You're
Yeah,
done. You're done, Mister. Like those are not the same thing. Like Kirk is using this for his own belief, and Picard is like a bureaucrat who just like props up empty rules.
and
And
then
then
there's Cisco, who's the master of pretending he doesn't notice stuff.
yes, there's fucking Cisco, who is like, no, dude, the Maquis bad. That's not how you win a war.
Well, in even in like the really early, the one where O'Brien meets the alien who's being hunted, Tosk or whatever his name was.
Yes, he is Tosk.
Yeah, at the end of that episode, when Cisco realizes what O'Brien did, he gives him the perfunctory. That was very naughty, Chief O'Brien. I don't want you to do that again. Wink.
He has such a way with facial acting too.
He really does.
Where like he like makes you feel the whole, but you're in it with me.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of them are good at it. Like God, Jadzia is so good at like using her eyes to. I mean this not in like the '60s way, but in like the literary way. So fucking foxy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is very telling that like you can see those scenes where she's like, Kira, let me just show you how I can weaponize my sexuality. And then sometimes she's like, I'm actually the smartest person you'll ever meet. I will murder you right fucking now. Don't you fucking get me.
So Jadzia and the Dax symbiote merged like somewhat recently at the beginning of the show, right?
Yeah, you very recently.
Okay. I assumed it was like maybe a couple years, but like
Yeah.
somewhat recently.
Well, yeah. That I mean, very recently like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when they show the flashback, she's like still played by the same actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming it was like a couple years ago. But in one of the early episodes, like some guy checks her out as she walks by, and she kind of mentions to whichever character she's with. I forgot how much extra attention women get.
Kira.
Yeah, that was
it's when she's talking with Kira. I forgot how fun it is being a woman. I enjoy the extra attention. Like,
Yeah.
And literally right after that scene, she literally brings Kira to fucking Quarks, and then fuck me eyes into getting free drinks and info from Quark.
I still think it's so funny that the Ferengi are into human women.
I mean, I feel like in Star Trek we've already accepted hybrids very clearly. So
no,
like,
I don't mean just that. I just like I'm not saying it's weird that they sometimes go after human women. I'm saying it's funny that all the Ferengi seem to have like a fetish for humanoid women because you'd think that like they would have evolved to be attracted to Ferengi women.
I don't necessarily think so. I'm gonna throw this out here. Like, like real talk, all cards on the table here. Vulcans show up. How many people with the elf fetish come out the woodwork?
Yeah, but
No, hold on. How many people with a vampire fetish come out the woodwork? I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Goblin people, orc people.
no, I know.
Well, hold on. So I'm saying all these motherfuckers are gonna latch so fucking hard onto this one race, and like, let's be real here. Vulcans aren't like specifically attractive or anything. No, they're a very logical species. I want you to consider Ferengis and humans. When the humans make an impact, we are essentially the most passionate fucking thing ever.
Yeah, it's not the weirdest thing. It's just I'm surprised we've never gotten a scene where like a Ferengi man has a scene with like a humanoid woman who's interested in him, and he kind of quips like, "Ah, your ears are too small for my liking, darling." Like, I'm surprised
I
we've
think
never
that
gotten that
happens.
scene. Maybe
I
it does eventually, but
yeah, like I think that's a thing.
it must be at some point. It's just weird that like every Ferengi we meet shares Quark's interest in human women.
I mean, there's the other reason,
Like
which is
what
the one which
the
well,
exotic nature of them.
it's the fact that theoretically they were written as uh
Yeah,
neurotic Semitic stereotypes, which part of the DNA is still in here, and we've converted that into they really like us and they think we're really pretty. And they look fine. They just look different for no particular reason.
well, when
And
we're talking about, I just thought of this now. Speaking of huts, like we were earlier, Star Wars kind of goes back and forth on whether or not Jabba's love of human women is like weird for his species.
why did the twins 69 in their bed?
Well, they don't 69; they just
Yes,
lay
they
on it.
do. No, they were 69ing in that bed.
Huts
Or I
reproduce
guess
asexually.
I didn't say that. Okay, I guess we'll say they were sleeping like the yin yang symbol.
Oh yeah, they were sleeping. They weren't fucking sucking each other off.
I didn't say they were sucking each other off, but they're like full on like they're like well they're cuddling.
Yeah,
So they're intimately in a 69 position. Just a
yeah.
lot.
Huts are weird.
Just
Huts
a
are
lot.
self-fertilizing hermaphrodites. Like they pick their own gender. Like the fact that we say he for Jabba the Hutt is purely Jabba's preference.
Do they change it at will?
They just have both genitals. Like they can
Oh, okay.
self-fertilize. At least in
Well,
the
like,
old canon. I don't know if that's still canon to the
well,
new
saying
one,
they
but
self for fertilize doesn't mean they have both at the same time. Because I mean,
I think the book I read said they did.
oh, okay. Because I mean,
Like they
like,
actually just have both genitals.
gotcha. Because I was thinking like plants, where if you have like a bunch of girls around, one of them will turn into a guy eventually.
You can actually, in addition to all the gender reassignment surgeries we now have, you can get one now where you keep your dick, but they turn your balls into a vagina.
I'm not touching that one.
I mean, I'm not interested in it, but I'm fascinated that it exists.
I'm not. I I am much more interested in the development of good mental gender reaffirmment
True,
care.
but it is interesting that such a surgery exists.
I worry that in the West, doctors have already often used technical ability with a lack of purpose or understanding
That is
to
true.
make problematic surgeries.
Oh
And
no, I'm not saying it can't be abused. I'm just like scientifically fascinated that it exists.
I mean, I, I I guess with shit like that, my fascination would be satiated from a really nice, detailed Grey's Anatomy style book.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm interested in it in the same way that it's like Oh, did you know that you can get your tongue split? It's like, I'm not going to ever get that, but that's fascinating that such technology exists.
It's one of those. It's interesting it exists. And also, like, what the fuck, guys? Where
So,
the fuck are our priorities at?
I have a few things to talk about before we go. First of all, I should explain my
Um,
username tonight.
so are we going for Avatar or streaming?
I'm talking about the technology company. So, I have a Roku TV. I've had it for a few years. Recently, it started getting this glitch where like one corner of the screen would get dim, and by corner, I really mean like the whole fucking half of the TV. But
Sure.
it like goes in the corner, and you know. So I got sick of dealing with that. I tried fucking rebooting it and factory reset and installing software updates, all that bullshit. I finally get a hold of Roku's fucking phone number, which by the way, they're open 24 hours a day. I called them at fucking midnight and I got an actual human being on the phone in like a minute or two.
Damn.
And it was like someone who spoke English too. Like it's not like, oh, of course they're on the other side of the earth. Like, no, this person's in the US and apparently works the fucking night shift at the Roku Center.
Huh.
And so I go through all this. I wish there was a second line to call for people who actually know how to troubleshoot, because the first like 15 steps are always all the shit I already tried.
But you didn't realize the people, everyone would just call that one.
I know, and that's the problem. I just wish. Anyway,
If I had one wish.
so I go through all that, and by the way, this TV is way out of warranty because I got it in like early 2023, so it's way out of warranty. And I'm telling them like, yep, still got the problem, and then all of a sudden, or they said like, we can proceed with a warranty repayment or something. They use some phrase like that. And I emailed, all right, what do the steps to that entail? Thinking that they'd like, send me a gift certificate that's worth like part the value because it's out of warranty, that kind of shit.
You a TV.
The next email just goes, all right, confirmation number is this. Your new TV will be there in 3 to 7 business days. And I'm like, I didn't even ask for that, but all right, cool.
Send me that phone number. I actually am having a Roku issue.
I will.
Thank you.
So anyway, Roku sent me a brand spanking new TV for free. The only downside is that because they've changed the model slightly in the couple years since I bought it, it no longer comes with an RCA port, so I had to fucking whip my adapter out. That's a little annoying, but whatever. It's not that big a deal.
I mean, you can always grab a real cock adapter.
True. It's just slightly irritating because part of why I bought that TV was because it was one of the few that still came with one last RCA port, and I have one device left that still needs one of those.
Well, yeah, one last RCA port is gone. So it's the last one. So if you only have one device that still needs it, put the converter on the device and call it a fucking day.
That's what I ultimately did. That's just slightly annoying that it now takes up one of my HDMI ports that I wanted to use for something else, but whatever. I can just buy a splitter. I already did. It probably got here while I was talking because Amazon said it was going to today.
Imagine you're a minority kid in trouble and go get a Switch.
F. Also, I'm keeping the remote from my soundbar just because the button layout is slightly better.
That's a sound decision.
Haha. Because I like this one because it's got in addition to the 4 like presets, it's got 2 presets that you can custom set to whatever you want.
Back before all the companies paid Roku a bunch of money to put their logo on.
Well, actually, it was the other way around. That was going on for years before Roku just started making their own TVs.
I like how depending on the Roku remote, it has different app buttons. Like sometimes you get a YouTube button.
Yeah, well, this actually, part of why I stuck with this remote is that this was the first Roku remote I ever got where all 4 of the buttons were actually 4 services I use.
Let's see, Netflix, Disney Plus. What's the bottom?
Apple TV and Paramount.
Oh, I saw an Apple TV movie that I need to recommend to the people.
What's it called?
The Last Beer Run.
Last Beer Run. By the way, speaking of upcoming movies with the word last in them, tomorrow is the official release date of the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie.
Oh, so you're saying are you gonna watch it tomorrow?
Yes.
So like tomorrow we'll be able to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have you know you're gonna suffer one weekend of me being like, this is the same fucking movie. Because I'm
It
gonna watch this movie tomorrow and it's gonna be the same fucking movie.
Yeah, it probably is. I just wanted to make sure.
Uh,
Like, I'm not so hardcore that I won't watch it through illegitimate means, but I am hardcore enough that I'm like, all right, I'm at least gonna wait for the official release date.
See, I'm hardcore enough that I will watch your official version on your official release date in case something changed.
Is this the movie you were talking about?
Yes.
I actually remember this from a few years ago.
So, a buddy of mine was just like, "You gotta watch this. Like we gotta watch this." And I was like, "All right, bud, it's your fucking turn at bat." I had no idea what was going what I was going into, and I was very pleased.
It looks good.
I I like Zac Efron's acting.
Yeah, he's not as bad as you'd think a teen heartthrob would be.
Well, I was telling my buddy, I think there's two options. You either go Amanda Bynes or you go Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, and it's a lot better to go Daniel Radcliffe.
Well, you either like work so hard at acting, like the actual craft, and take so many roles and like strike at so many fucking different like chances that you break out of what you used to be stuck in, or you don't. You make one or two pictures being typecast, and then you're done.
Well, sadly, there's also the key difference of Daniel Radcliffe had parents who were interested in protecting him from the worst of the industry, whereas Amanda Bynes very much did not.
Well, I mean, I'm saying Zac Efron, I think, is in the Radcliffe camp.
Yeah, Zac Efron seems to have grown up to be a relatively normal person.
I think he grew up to be a good actor despite being a Disney star, though. Because I think it's hard for you to be like a star at a young age and then still grow and be a good actor.
Yeah, he managed. Most actors don't succeed in making the transition to adult star.
Yeah, exactly.
Some do, but most
And I mean,
kind of get stuck.
and sometimes even when they do, it's not for acting. Like for example, listen, I love JT. I think In Time was a great movie. I personally would like a sequel, but it's not like the guy's the greatest actor.
Yeah, he's fine. He was good in Inside Llewyn Davis. I mean, it's a small role, granted, but you know.
I think that's why I just have the love for In Time as well. It's just him.
This is gonna ruin the tour, man. You remember that, I assume.
Very vaguely. Please remind me to make sure I'm not
He got arrested for drunk driving, and like it was basically just funny because one, the cop was so young he didn't recognize Justin Timberlake.
Oh yes.
And two, the fact that he's being pulled over for drunk driving, and the first thing he says is, "Oh man, this is gonna ruin the tour."
Because this is still noodle hair, Justin Timberlake, correct?
No, this was only a couple years ago that this happened.
Did it?
Yeah, this was like 2023 or 4.
Oh no.
I still see people reference it, like when like when Charlie Kirk got killed, someone just tweeted afterwards, "Oh man, this is gonna ruin the tour."
Oh my god.
Anyway, last night a show premiered that I know you'll be very interested in. Oh my god. Do you know about this show?
No, and I just need to start with something.
Okay.
This is not Stewart from Mad TV, is it?
No, this is Stewart from The Big Bang Theory.
Find me my gun.
So they announced the show a while back, like, oh, Big Bang Theory spinoff about Stewart, and I and everyone else assumed it would be like a workplace sitcom about the comic book store. So I was like, all right,
Okay,
fine,
so
whatever.
assumedly Stewart runs the comic book store. Please assume I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Stewart was a recurring character in The Big Bang Theory who is the owner of the comic book store that they frequent.
So he's not part of the gang or whatever.
Sometimes he gets invited to their stuff. Like when they need more people than just the main 4 or 5, they'll call in their friends, and like Stewart will be one of the friends they call in.
So it's like Suki from ATLA, level of association.
Kinda, yeah. Maybe
Okay.
a little less, but
Okay.
I guess I almost say more like Garrick from DS9, though he appears
Right.
more often than Garrick does.
Oh no, Garrick shows up a lot, bro.
Yeah, he shows up in very important episodes, but his actual episode count isn't very high.
Is that just
Like
an
it's
early
less.
season?
It's like less than 20, I think, across the whole series.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like 15 episodes across the whole show. It's just that every one of them is an important episode.
Doctor.
But yeah, so Stewart's like, he's the comic book store owner. He's like kind of the running joke is he's like he's like an art school graduate. He went to like RISD and he wound up doing this with his life instead, and like
Okay.
he's on antidepressants and shit.
Okay.
And like near the end of the show, he actually gets a girlfriend and like is sort of happy in his life for pretty much the first time ever. So when they announced a spin-off about Stewart, we all assumed it'd be a workplace sitcom about the comic book store. Instead, what this show is about is that some kind of high-tech device that Leonard Sheldon and Howard built created dimensional rifts and like fucked up the world. So like at the beginning of the episode, we see Stewart, like he lives in the comic book store, and it's basically like Mad Max out there, like fucking, or no, not Mad Max, it's fucking Cronenberg world from Rick and Morty. There's like giant moths will just swoop down from the sky and grab people. There's like, he goes to like the market, which looks like this fucking apocalypse, like Mad Max type market, and there's like a lady cooking a fucking human-sized ant on a spit. Like, it's fucking weird. And then another version of Stewart from, like, presumably our reality or one similar to it shows up and he says, you know, the world isn't supposed to be this way. Get to the device, you can fix the world. And then at the end of the episode, they get to the device and they get sent to, like, another world. So it's like a show about Stewart having to rebuild reality, basically.
Y'all seen Loki? Y'all seen The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. Yeah, the 4 like leads of the show are Stewart, his girlfriend, Barry Kripke, who's the guy who the whole joke is that he has a lisp and he's evil. Remember that guy?
Oh, wait. Are you talking about the big boy?
No, this guy here, the guy in front of the big boy.
I love that big boy actor though.
Brian Posehn, he's one of my favorite stand-up comedians ever.
Every time he does stuff, it's good. So I am happy that at least he's here.
Well, he was Stewart was like a major recurring character in Big Bang Theory. Like he was in not every episode, but like probably 50% of the whole series. Brian Posehn was a minor character who only showed up like periodically in the last few seasons, but he's like a geologist who worked at the same school that the rest of the main characters did.
Okay.
And so he's back as that character, but like the version from Apocalypse World. He's the source of all the deadpan humor.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
I've never seen him do deadpan.
Like what was the one in the pilot of the one I watched last night? There was something where like someone's explaining the sci-fi mechanics and then he just kind of deadpan goes, "You could have told us this after. We would have believed you from just the opening." or like that kind of shit. So anyway, I've only watched one episode, so I can't judge it too hard, but like it's mildly amusing.
I just remembered I need to play High on Life too.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I don't know, it's interesting to see this fucking skinny middle-aged nerd with no life skills have to save all of reality from a fucking dimensional incursion. Like, all right, that's amusing.
Is it?
It's amusing enough I'll watch another episode and see what I think.
I'll be real with you. This is sounding very slop-like to me.
Oh, no, it is. It's just, is it slop that amuses me?
Okay, but like, see, here's the thing. When people say that about shit made by AI, everyone's super fucking good at getting on their fucking high horse and saying, no, it doesn't matter. It's slop. Don't consume it. But the moment it fucking comes out of a butt that has a fucking like human cock attached, it's like, oh, well, it's slop that I can consume.
Well, I haven't determined if this is slop yet because I've only watched 20 minutes of it.
It is.
Maybe. I don't know. Young Sheldon was like way better than it had a right to be. Also, the show does not have a fucking laugh track, which is really good.
That is good.
I hate laugh tracks.
Unless it's Full House, they can have a laugh track.
If it's a real audience, I can tolerate it a little. Like Big Bang Theory, to its credit, shot in front of a real audience every episode.
I mean, dude, what are you talking about? Charlie Kirk, to his credit, was shot in front of a live audience. What the fuck is that?
Wish I could have fucking bought tickets to that show.
Okay, bud, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm just saying in hindsight.
I don't want to watch a guy get murdered. I will say that. I don't need to watch a guy get murdered. Like,
I want to see the whatever the new footage is that they showed the judge. I want to fucking see that footage because all we've seen is fucking cell phone shit.
I mean, I'm interested in it. I'm just saying it will be traumatic as shit to me.
Oh, I know it will, but it's Charlie Kirk, so I'd be interested.
No, but like, yeah, but I would not put myself at that fucking event on purpose, knowing what happened. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, let me rephrase. I wish that I had the feeling that I should go to that event, but not know why, so that I can see it happen live and be like, "Oh shit."
Jesus Christ, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even wish that on myself, knowing like, because I just don't want the trauma of seeing a man murdered like that.
Yeah, it is easier to handle when you watch it on a phone screen, isn't it?
It is, and he's still dead either way. I don't have to have the personal trauma of witnessing a man be murdered.
Yeah, I'm not normally into fucking snuff films. I only watched that one because it appeared on my Twitter feed 5,000 times, and also because it's Charlie Kirk and he wasn't a real person like us.
I don't know, man. I think every time we go down the route of saying these guys aren't humans, we're just kind of like...
No, I know. You're correct. It's just, it's Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, no, he's just like us. And that's why you should look at your neighbors. You should look at your parents. You should look at your cousins. You should say, hey, are you like that? Is this what you're about? Are you okay?
Well, thankfully, no one in my fucking family is.
Fucked up. Well, yeah.
So before we go, there's 2 movies I need to talk about that I watched in my ongoing fucking Paul Thomas Anderson marathon. All right?
Okay.
Which I will be continuing as soon as the show ends. So I watched Inherent Vice. And I remembered while watching it that I'd seen part of it before, like when my dad was watching it or whatever. Do you know this movie?
No, I was just reading the Reddit thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what that is. I mean, I know what Reddit is, but I'm not clicking on that post. So Inherent Vice is like a kind of crime thriller about this guy. He's like this washed up fucking, or not washed up, just like drugged out, like PI.
Dad, can we have John Lennon?
He does kind of look like, this is set in 1970.
We have John Lennon at home. John Lennon at home.
It's set in 1970, so that's why he looks like that.
I'm just saying, he's John Lennon at home.
But yeah, like his ex-girlfriend kind of comes back into his life and turns him onto a case, and it basically goes from there. This, as this person is noting here, and as you can tell from the scores, this is actually Paul Thomas Anderson's lowest rated film.
Uh, what's up with the foot shot?
I don't know. He's channeling his Tarantino.
Like he's really like channeling a Tarantino.
Yeah, it's a
No,
little
I'm talking
easier to
about the third
tolerate
one.
when you see the whole person.
Yeah, I'm talking about the third one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Buddy.
presumably supposed to draw your eye down to her ass.
No, it is not. It is the fucking words are between her feet. Don't fucking lie to me. I know how graphic design works.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, you're right. But when I first saw this trailer, I went, with
Well,
my
that's
eyes.
just an ass man. That's just because you're an ass man.
I'm not even specifically an ass man. I'm just a fucking women man.
Listen, there's two types of men. There's ass men. Actually, no, there's three types of men. There's ass men. There's asexual royalty, and there's people who are wrong.
True. I do like me some asses. Anyway, I kind of agree. This is probably my least favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie so far. But the thing is that I still gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Because it's still really fucking good. The reason I call it his worst is because it's just so structurally different.
Your rating system is goobers.
Why?
Because, like, if everything's getting 5, I really feel like you should be rating the 5.1s, the 5.5s, which would instead just once again be a 1.5 system.
I mean, I'm not rating everything 5. I'm just rating Paul Thomas Anderson's movies 5.
I'm just saying, with so many 5s, the meaning of the 5s gets diluted.
I get what you're saying, but if you look at my Letterboxd, I have very few movies that I've given a full 5 stars to.
It ain't no lie. 5.
Yeah, I give out like 4s, like 4 out of 5 pretty easily, or like maybe even 4.5. I don't give out 5 out of 5 particularly often.
I just feel like if multiple movies have like 5 out of like have like a perfect score, that's a real hard thing to sell to me.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk me into bumping this down to like 4, 4.5.
True.
But like, really, the reason I gave it 5 was just because of how much fucking craft went into it. Like, so when I say it's structurally different, as you can see here, it's based on a book, and it has a very book-like structure. Really, like you know how books will kind of like weave through the story, or like sometimes a new character will just kind of pop up for a scene or two and then disappear.
A book, because it's written strand of consciousness, often allows for you to kind of travel on that.
Exactly. This movie is sort of similar. It's a very book-like, like to the point that one of the minor characters in the movie also serves as narrator, and like huge swaths of her narration are just text from the book.
That does kind of feel like it's a bit much for a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that like you're wrong if it doesn't grab you. And it is, again, still my least favorite of his 10 movies, but I was still really into it.
Okay.
And then the other one I watched, which is a movie I'd forgotten was his, was Phantom Thread.
Why is it a comic?
I have no idea why this person on Reddit is using a thing of Namor.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it must have been relevant to this discussion somehow, but I'm not fucking reading it. Actually, maybe it's relevant because this guy has a vaguely similar personality to Namor.
How so?
Like he's an egotistical prick who alienates everyone around him with his bad behavior.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so this character, this is the second time working with Daniel Day-Lewis. I cannot fucking imagine what Daniel Day-Lewis did to get into character for this role, because we all know what he's like in his acting roles. Like, what was, for fucking Last of the Mohicans, he, like, lived in the woods for 6 months hunting his meals and shit. Like, he's a goofy goober, but goddamn it, it's worth it when you see his performance at the end.
6 months, man.
Yeah, like he's fucking nuts. Like for Gangs of New York, he actually like learned how to throw that knife the way that Bill the Butcher does. Like all those shots of Bill the Butcher throwing his fucking knife, that's him doing that shit for real.
While I enjoy Gangs of New York, it's so fucking zany that like I don't know, dude. I I I think just because of the world I live in, I'm tired of Americans rewriting the recent past.
Yeah. I with a movie like that, I just judge it purely as fiction.
But I'm too close to it. I
I
can't.
know. Actually, so remember how in Gangs of New York he like demonstrates that he has the glass eye by tapping on it with the knife?
Yes.
Do you know how they did that?
Sound effect?
Nope. Daniel Day-Lewis had a glass contact lens made to protect his real eye.
I'm gonna
And
throw up. Don't stop talking. Stop talking. Move on. No, stop talking. Stop talking. No,
okay,
no,
yeah,
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
he's a
I'm gonna throw the
fucking
fuck up.
maniac, is my point.
He's fucking insane. Oh my god.
Now, granted, he didn't actually have to hurt himself to do what he did, but it still took a lot of training.
No. It's the visual thing that he has to experience. No.
Yeah. So, Phantom Thread, yeah, it takes place in London in like the 1950s. And he plays this like super high end fashion designer, like dressmaker, right?
Okay.
Like the kind that like royal family members go to for their wedding gowns type of fashion
Oh,
designer.
how do you
What'd you
get
say?
that? How do you even get that good?
I don't know. The movie starts with him well into middle age, so like we
Yeah.
don't find out a ton about his history. We know about like how his
Yeah.
mom's death fucked with him, basically. Um, so he's this fashion designer who he's brilliant. Everyone loves his work. He's a fucking nightmare to deal with as a human being. He's like kind of the movie never says this, but I'm calling it. He's fucking autistic just because of like some of the shit that bothers him.
He's a diva.
It's not just diva though. Like shit that should not bother a normal person bothers him.
Like what?
Like there's a whole scene where they demonstrate how quote unquote loud his new girlfriend is at the breakfast table. By which I mean she's just eating breakfast normally, but the sound mixing has cranked up every single sound effect.
Bro, I bet she stirs her fucking tea.
Well, they're all British, so they kind of all do.
Yeah, exactly, bitch.
But like,
Wow.
yeah, there's like a whole scene where she like gets some butter to put on her toast, and the sound mixing is amazing in this scene. Yeah, they like, well, not even that part. It's like the loud clank when she puts the knife through the butter and hits the butter dish at the bottom. There's also an amazing fucking matte painting shot in this movie, which I only mention because it's a movie from 2017 that used matte paintings instead of fucking green screens. And
Huh.
it looks so good that I'm actually not 100% sure it was a matte painting. They might have just actually gone to that fucking mountain, but I don't think they did.
That's sick.
Yeah, so anyway, he's a fucking asshole to deal with. Like at the beginning of the movie, his current girlfriend is like trying to tell him over breakfast, "Hey man, like you're being a piece of shit." And he's like not even really listening. He's like fucking drawing his next design while he absentmindedly sips his coffee or whatever.
Mm.
And then his sister, who's like his manager, his consigliere, basically. She says, Joanna's becoming restless. I think it's time we let her go. And he's just like, yeah, I guess she can have the summer property if she wants it. So he's just like a fuck. Yeah, like he doesn't even have the decency to dump his fucking girlfriend in person. Like he has his sister pass the message along for him.
When you're rich enough.
Well, the thing is that he is clearly rich based on the house he lives in, but he's not really interested in money. He's interested in his work, and that's about it. Like in that opening scene with his girlfriend, like talking about some fucking fancy pants thing she wants to buy, or she just bought. He says, I thought I said no more stodgy things in this house." So like he pretty much just likes making dresses, and that's the only fucking thing in his life that he enjoys at all.
He likes making dresses.
So he goes to this little. He's convinced slash strong armed to take a vacation after this job. So he goes out to the countryside. He goes to this little coffee shop. He meets this waitress. There's an instant connection between the two. They get together. But he starts having these great ideas. Like her form is like perfect or whatever. So he starts having these great ideas for these new designs. So he makes her like his live-in girlfriend slash muse.
Yeah.
And like uses her as his, like, to the point that he'll like wake her ass up in the middle of the night when he has a good idea, and then like make her stand there while he puts the fabric around her to fucking size it right and everything.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, so it forms this bizarre dysfunctional relationship where it's almost like a power play, because unlike all his previous girlfriends, she's like, no, I'm gonna turn him into who I want him to be. I'm gonna make him stop acting like this.
That's fun.
Yeah. And it becomes like I don't want to spoil anything, but it becomes this like weird fucking character dynamic between them where like she's kind of scheming against him.
You're spoiling. No, stop.
Yeah.
See.
I'll stop there. Anyway, it's a fucking great movie. There's fucking amazing sound mixing in that one scene in particular. Amazing visuals. The music is fucking masterful.
I'll have to check it out.
My favorite 3 Paul Thomas Anderson movies are still his first 3, just because I like that style of, like, you know, either modern day and or period piece in Boogie Nights' case. Like, you know, lots of fucking needle drops, lots of like really naturalistic, improvised feeling dialogue.
I still think you're insane for not putting There Will Be Blood in the top 3.
There Will Be Blood is of his post Magnolia movies, that's probably my favorite. Like, of his movies of the 21st century, I'd say.
Fair.
But it's just like, just something special about those first 3, just like the way they were shot.
I can dig it.
And he still shoots that way in modern movies. It's just that he goes to so many different times and places now that it's not, like, it's still recognizably his shooting style, but like, you know, Hard 8 and Boogie Nights feel like natural companions for each other stylistically, and so does Magnolia as well. Whereas, like, Phantom Thread feels like a really different style of movie.
I get what you're saying.
Well, I mean, like, what'd you say?
He's growing. He's changing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and he still, like, dips into that old style. Like, he still does long takes. He still does, like, crazy tracking shots. He still uses, like, the music to punctuate stuff the way he used to. It's just that he used to make movies that were set in either modern day or the relatively recent past. And starting with There Will Be Blood, he started making movies set in like the very distant past or the recent past, but in a totally different part of the earth. Or in the case of Inherent Vice, the recent past, but really based on the fucking novel. But yeah, like when I put on There Will Be Blood, I kind of joke to myself, like, how's he gonna do a fucking Sly and the Family Stone needle drop if it's 1912?
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, I mean, I loved There Will Be Blood. Don't get me wrong, but my favorites are still those original 3.
He's an oil man.
I'm an oil man.
By the way, how'd you like? How does that speech from South Park hit differently? Like, I'm a goo man.
I'm a goo man.
I shall go across the country.
Yeah, oh man, Daniel Day-Lewis was, not that he wasn't great in Phantom Thread, but he was probably even better in There Will Be Blood, just because that performance requires him to go so fucking insane.
That performance is pure insanity, and it's great.
Yeah, in Phantom Thread, it's fantastic too. It's just that he's a much more reserved character.
Yeah, I think this just gives him a better showcase for his abilities.
Actually, the whole time I was watching Phantom Thread, because it's like 50s London, everyone talks pretty proper. So for like, no, that's like working class Britain. This is like upper class Britain. So the whole, like, the first fucking 30 something minutes of the movie, I was wondering to myself, like, was this one even rated R? Because I just hadn't bothered to look. Eventually they throw in enough fucks that it gets rated R, but like,
Eventually.
yeah, I think like around maybe the 40-minute mark, he finally gets mad enough that he loses his composure and yells. And like in that scene, he says like, "Will you fuck off?" or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, I guess it is rated R then."
There it is.
And there's a little bit of she's not even naked. It's just that the nightgown she's wearing is kind of see through,
It's sheer.
partially sheer. But that's not a sex scene. That's just he realizes what good form she has, so he makes her partially stripped down so he can take her measurements and try dresses on her and shit.
If you say so, Larry.
Well, it has that's kind of the thing. It has a little undertone of like sexual exploitation to it, just a little bit. But
Just
as
a
she
little.
realizes that his intentions are innocent, she goes, "Oh, I guess it's fine then."
Jesus, Harvey. A little bit.
Well, that's the thing is like he's not actually feeling her up. He's just wrapping the measuring tape around her like arm and leg and like all that shit.
Don't. I'm just giving you a button pop.
No, but he actually that's the thing is that unlike all those times, he actually is just taking the measurements. He's not thinking about her as like a romantic or sexual partner at all at this point in the movie. He's just interested in making dresses and having her model them.
If you say so, Larry.
But yeah, it's a cool fucking character drama.
I'll have to check this out.
I
I
won't
do have to
say
run
it.
though.
Yeah, that's fine. I won't say anything about plot, but it goes in some directions I didn't expect at all.
Oh,
You didn't get the chance to watch Magnolia, did you?
I did not.
Okay. We can talk about that next time. And we'll also talk about Avatar next time because I'm going to watch that. It technically drops in like an hour, but I'm about to go watch another movie.
Well, go watch another movie. Go watch Avatar.
Oh, yeah. I'll watch Avatar tomorrow.
Watch that shit. And then, folks, we'll be back. We're gonna talk all the shit because not a spoiler, but you'll be disappointed.
I thought you said the movie was really good.
It's okay. Well, let me this way. It's like Mandalorian and Grogu. The content itself is fine. This should not have been a movie.
What
You'll
should it have been?
I go back and forth with a buddy on this. My feeling was this should have just been like a mini series, but he was like, you could honestly stretch it out to a full season of a thing. But like either way, it feels very much like a nice arc that would work better over a string of episodes rather than as a movie. It's not a problem with the content, it's just pacing.
Maybe what happened was they were afraid of getting another Korra where they intend it to be a miniseries, but it's such a hit it gets renewed, and then they're like, "Well, fuck, now we have to write more."
I have a feeling there was something like that in here because like there's some points where I'm like, you accordion the thing.
Speaking of, I haven't watched it yet because I want to go in absolutely fucking blind. But the first trailer for the new Avatar series is out. It's called Seven something.
It is,
It just came out like yesterday.
bro.
Seven Havens. That's it.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. I just want breakdancing, fucking earthbending, capoeira, breakdancing, earthbending.
I would be into that.
I'd be so into it.
Yeah, I'm trying to go into this like knowing as little as I possibly fucking can. So I'm not watching the trailer. But if you want to, you can.
Hear me out, dude. B boys, but the B stands for Boulder.
Oh, cool. According to Wikipedia, it has been ordered for 2 seasons at 13 episodes each. That's good.
That's fun.
I'm so I don't need it to be like 20 something like the original was. Korra's like 12 episode seasons work fine for me, but god damn it.
Planned out.
Yeah, well, not only planned out, but god damn it, I'm so fucking sick of the like 6 episode seasons we're getting from most shows now. With like 3-year gaps between seasons.
Like if you're doing things like regularly, I get it then, because like then you're just taking a 12 episode a year, splitting it in half, and then going off that. I can deal with that. Give me 12 episodes of a show a year.
Well, I don't think I need to tell you this because you probably know, but like shows catch on more effectively when they air week to week, right?
Yeah. No
One
shit.
of the few one of the few that really successfully caught on despite releasing whole seasons at once is The Bear. Partially just because it's so fucking good. But also what?
I was thinking Severance.
Yeah, Severance is another one. There's Stranger Things. There's a few. Well, though Severance released week to week, though.
It did?
I think so. Certainly with the second season, it did.
Yeah, no, I thought Apple TV dropped the first season, though.
Maybe they did. But okay, I know with the second, it was week to week because every week I was hearing people going like, "Oh shit."
No, you're right. You're right.
But so one of the ones that successfully caught on despite dumping all the episodes at once was The Bear. And you know why that is? Because unlike all the others, they consistently put out a new season of The Bear at the same time every year for 5 years straight. Like every fucking late June, 10 more episodes of The Bear are coming every year.
Is that show still going?
It just ended with its latest season like a month ago.
Oh, wow. Really?
But it was a planned ending. And it got like the standard 5-episode arc or 5-season arc and everything. But it like adjusted slightly for like day of the week at pretty much the same date every year, 5 years in a row. New season of The Bear. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Because that's part of why shows fucking like even shows with low episode counts premiering at roughly the same time every year helps a lot with people remembering to fucking tune back in.
Consistency.
Yeah. Like Family Guy, when they fucking the way they canceled Family Guy back in the day when they wanted to get rid of it was by purposefully moving it around to different time slots with no notice so that its viewership would drop. Well, you were like 4, but yeah.
I was alive.
Well, yeah. Or original Star Trek way back in the day, when they wanted an excuse to cancel it, they moved it to the Friday night death slot for its 3rd season.
Nice. So I do got to run to the bathroom, but I want to leave you with this. Chefs, bears, pirates, deer. What do they all have in common?
They all feature an avatar?
Heard.
By the way, I'm such a Roku evangelist that when they gave me free stickers with my TV, I actually put them on shit.
All right, easy there, buckaroo. That's a little much.
It's a cheap sticker. It'll fall off on its own.
Fair. But yeah, I do got to run, though.
We will be back on Tuesday, everyone. Like the stream, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. Fucking watch all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies because I've seen 8 of the 10 so far, and they've all been great. I'm going to watch the 9th of the 10 in about 30 minutes.
Don't turn your Bad Dragon onto maximum setting, and always use lube. I love you guys. Have a good night.
I don't have a Bad Dragon, but I do use lube. Good night, everybody.